Hello guys, welcome back to another day of racing. Well, we're not really doing racing today. I'm actually teaching you today. Okay, we're gonna practice for the race tomorrow. Hope you guys had a great week. So you know we'll flick over to the game screen real quick. Where are we driving? So you guys know that the Le Mans 6-hour championship race is happening tomorrow or this weekend. So 6 hours around Le Mans team endurance event. So it's the last race of the season, so we're not really like fighting for anything because I haven't done any of the other championship rounds. But me and Nick, we want to try and team up together this year and drive the Alpine in all the championship races. So we just thought we'd give it a try. Practicing the race? Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. It's not happening. So yeah, we're gonna do this one as a practice. So I'm gonna show you guys today how I kind of plan things out for an endurance event, right? And we do that with, I'll go through all the steps with you, including the track guide, right? And then we'll go through everything and show you how we use Coach Dave Delta, as well as this new website, which I'll show you, I'll explain a bit later on, Endurance Manager, very good for stint planning, stint management, okay? And I'll show you guys the process of how it all kind of comes together, because believe it or not, you're practicing the laps, that's just one part of it. Especially if it's like a longer race and you have other drivers that are driving with you, there's a bit more that goes into it, okay? So I'm going to show you the lap first. So this lap, I was gonna try and use a Coach Dave reference lap, but then it turns out that we set the fastest time by accident. Like it's faster than the Coach Dave actual reference time as well by quite a few tenths. So now we have the fastest time. So I'm going to show you the replay of the lap. So I did this is quali. So I did a 23.5 and what was the optimal? The optimal was a 23.1, I believe. 23.2 was the optimal. I think I made some mistakes in the Porsche curve or something like that. Lost a few tenths. So we'll go to the replay first. It was this one here. It should be the first one. And I'll just show you the very basic track guide, where the track limits are. Just so that you know what to do for either your 2.4-hour race this week if you do that by yourself, or if you're doing this 6-hour championship race. But I haven't done Le Mans in a while, so it was good fun to do it again because I've not driven this track in so long now. Okay, so it was at 1 minute 21. 1 second, I'll just go to the old chase cam here real quick, and we'll go to 1:21. Because that's where the lap ended, I believe. Let me just make sure. I think that was, because I stopped the car. Yeah, okay, so it's this one. So let me just rewind this quickly. It's bugged out, like it won't show me the laps here. So I've got to, I don't want to get lost in the, because it was a long session. I think I practiced for about like 3 hours or something that night. I wouldn't expect it to be a stream. I've done them in the past before, bro. I'm just going to rewind it back to the original lap. And it's saying I used hard tires, but I used medium. I didn't use hard tires. But we'll just let that rewind quickly. We should go more than times two. Hey, Letso, how are you, bro? Good to see you. Okay, almost there. All right, so we can show the preparation. I think it was an okay entry. Let me just see from the cockpit view here. Let's have a look. It was okay. Touched a bit too much curb. The goal is when you get here, you don't want to put your tire on the curb. Well, it depends on the car, but most of them you can't really touch the curb. So if I go like this and show you, you just want to get you want to line it up so that the left wheel is on the curb, like the blue and yellow curb. But you don't want to touch the red curb because then that hurts the exit. You can see that I took a little bit of curb and that it stops you from going on the throttle. Hey, Nightcat, how are you, bro? It stops you from going on the throttle, right? Which then activates too much traction, and then it means you have to wait before you go. Because if you hit the curb and then you try and go on the throttle where you usually go on the throttle, the car, as you exit here, like as you come out of it here, and as you go full throttle, the car will just spin. It will just instantly turn around. So yeah, you got to just avoid that red curve, okay? So then back to cockpit view. I'm going to try and fly through this as fast as I can because I want to be really efficient with it, right? And show you guys the whole process. The trick here, when you exit, is put the car over, because what happens is if you have... So this is track, this is pretty much the edge of the track limits. You don't want to go more than this, because what happens is if you put the tire... Athlete, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Appreciate you. Hope you had a good stream. So what happens is if you have either your left or your right tires on the... Well, if you've got your right side tires on the curb, it's off track, right? So we can ignore that. But if you've got your left side tires on the blue and yellow curb, the traction will activate. Thank you for the follow, Athlete. The traction will activate, right? And then you'll actually lose time. It's better to have your car on the middle, right? Because the green is smooth. And so when you put the power down, there's just no, there's no wheel spin. The car just, it just goes, the wheels just go. Are you driving on? No, it's a bug. I'm using medium. So, and you'll notice it because if you look at the throttle, I'll show you guys a lap later when I do some of the laps later to show you. But if you have your left side on the curb here, as the car accelerates, right? Because if you see it here, it's pretty good. So just watch the throttle, right? See how it's just like it goes up? Like if you see here. So see, as soon as we're straight, see it's just flat, right? The throttle is there. There's no TC activating. When you see this happen, see how it's jumping like that? Battle Sim, thank you for the follow. When it's jumping like that, that's traction activating, right? So here you see as I exit, just watch it. There's nothing. It's flat. It's good. So we're not cutting any power to the wheels. But if you go on the curb, right? So if you go here and you keep the wheel on the curb like that, you'll see it flicker because it's gonna lose you a little bit of time. It's not like the end of the world, but you know what it is. When you're chasing lap time, everything matters, right? So anyways, hit the car like this. Then back onto the track, obviously, before you get to the first corner. Now, as we get to the braking marker, we want to use all the track available because we don't want to turn the wheel too much. The more track width you use, the less you have to turn the wheel, which means the more speed you can carry into the corner, faster lap time, it all adds up, right? So we bring the car across like that, yeah? More or less just like, you don't have to go crazy with it, just like put the curb in line with your steering wheel pretty much, right? Now, obviously you guys know this is flat. You flat and you turn in, right? To know where to turn in, there's two white lines you'll see. So if I might put I'll show you here first. So there's two white lines. There's this white line and there's one in front, right? Basically, turn in as you reach the second line. These two lines, this area, this section, this is like your area to turn in for the apex, right? So we go into the chase cam, right? You can see there's the two white lines. There's that one there and there's that one there. And we just want to turn in more or less before or just before we reach this white line. Yeah, the second white line. Like that. See? It's just pretty easy. And that is, by the way, that is somehow, that's a bug for you, right? That's on track, believe it or not. That I didn't get any cut warning for that, so that needs to be fixed. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't make a huge difference. So we turn in, and then we line up the apex. Now again, same thing. You want to get the right tire onto the curb, but you don't want to go crazy overboard, and you don't want to put your middle of your car on the curb, because then what happens is when you reach this part here, the plank, there's like a plank in the middle of the car. I can't show you because it's not going to let me do that. But if you put the plank on the curb, it'll scrape and the car starts bouncing and then the tires lock up. That's not good, especially not in this corner, right? Yeah, look, if you're nervous about it, Red, you can lift slightly. But when you get confident, it's flat and then get on the curb and bang on the brake. And I'll show you what I mean, right? So we go back to the cockpit mode. See? Straight on the brake, right? And the braking point is as the curb goes straight. So if you look again. So you see look at the throttle, right? And then see how it turns and then it'll go straight. So you see here. Let me just slow-mo it again, sorry. Right there, see? The curb's gone straight, and now we start to go on the brake here. And then here, the reason why a lot of you guys lock up is you're not being aggressive enough with the downshift. If you don't downshift enough, that's why you're not able to go flat and then brake and make the corner. If you go like bang, bang, if you're trying to slow it down gradually, it's not going to make it. You're going to overshoot. You're going to lock up. You're going to go onto the gravel ahead of you. If you watch the downshifts here, yeah? It's bang, 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 like really quick. You've got to use the downshift, the aggressive downshifting. So look at just watch the gear.
Okay, let's go.
See that? And then you'll reach the apex. You can do it even faster with like the BMW and stuff. You can just go bang, 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 like slam it down. I have to be careful with the Alpine because the Alpine, if you guys know, the brakes aren't that great, and it has a tendency, like if you downshift too quickly, it snaps the rear. So I have to be a bit more, I'm being cautious there. But if you're in the BMW or something that another Hypercar has good brakes, oh, it's so good. You just go bang, 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 you slam them down. And you can brake so late, right? So we go down to second gear. And then let's go to the bird's eye view. And then as we line up the apex, right, we go down to second gear. Some cars, it's third gear. I think since they changed the atmospheric, it's second gear for most cars now, is it? I could be wrong. It could be third gear for some cars. The Alpine likes second gear, yeah. So you see, as we get to the apex, now I actually could have taken a bit more, right? This is fine, but I could have gained a bit more time if I had gotten a little bit more. You want to basically, the limit is this flag thing. If you touch this flag thing, you get an off track, right? And Mouflon, thank you for the follow. You can touch these sausage curbs. You just got to be really careful with it. Because if you put too much throttle when you hit the curb, the car will then snap to the right. What difference would you do in the wet for that corner? Don't touch the curb. Yeah, don't touch the curb. But basically, yeah, you in the dry, you can touch this curb. We're going to say it's dry. We'll ignore the wet stuff because we're not doing wet race tomorrow. But basically, you can touch the curb, just can't touch the flag because that'll invalidate it. But if you get it here, this is okay too, all right? Now, you got to watch the throttle because you can't... thank you for the sub, Claire. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. With the throttle, you can't just go bang full throttle and just yank it because that's going to make the car spin as well, right? So watch the throttle here, okay? So as we come in, watch the green. See how I'm being cautious? I'm not committing full throttle. See, I'm just kind of backing off, like I'm modulating it. And then see there, I do a slight lift and then I turn the car. I put a little brake there, you can see, but I think that's just an accident. That's just me touching the brake pedal slightly. Everyone does it every now and then. But to be honest, it probably doesn't hurt for the rotation. But what you want to do is you modulate it here. Sorry. Oh, I hate the LMU controls. Okay, here. So watch, you go back on the throttle. Actually, I'm going to go to cockpit view. You go back on the throttle, but you don't commit fully to it. Just like, you know, 40%, 50% throttle. And then we lift off the throttle, and then we flick the wheel over to the right. Yeah, lift and then flick the wheel over to the right. And it's the exact same thing here, right? The flag, if you touch that flag, it's off track, right? So you can touch the curb here now. It used to be instant death. You can, some cars, depends on your setup, you can touch the curb, but if you're not confident, I would advise don't touch the sausage curbs. Put the wheel on the blue and yellow curb, or just the edge of the sausage, because if you take too much of this, the car will spin when you exit on the hill, right? So same thing, we'll go to our bird's eye view. So I'm pretty sure I touched a bit. Yeah, see, I just put the wheel just on the edge, right? Because every millimeter counts. Or when you want to gain time, every millimeter counts. No, it's not a custom setup, bro. It's a custom setup, but it's not going to change with the default setup. Default setup, same thing basically, right? You just take a bit more speed in the corners with the custom setup. So again, just same thing here. When you go back on the throttle, go back to the cockpit view. So back on the throttle, you can't commit fully to it. You got to just modulate it a little bit, like just hover the throttle. So look at the throttle input. So we get the wheel straight as soon as we can. Because if you have the wheel turned too late here, like if you keep it turned, it's going to spin. So you got to get the wheel straight as possible. And you got to aim the car for the exit curb here on the left, right? So you can see here, I'm still not full throttle. I'm just modulating it. So we balance the car out, and then you see here, as soon as it's flickering, I'm back on the throttle fully, but the TC is activating a bit, which is fine. As soon as I get the wheel straight, I commit to the throttle, because when the wheel's straight, then that's when you got the best performance in the tires, least traction activation, no chance of spinning, right? Or the least chance of spinning. And then same thing here. It's the flags again. You can get the car all the way over. Just don't touch these cut flag things, whatever you call them, right? The red and white things here. So same thing. Use all the track width. I could have taken a bit more if I took more speed, but this is fine. Like having it like this, wheels on the curb, this is absolutely fine. Okay. Then you don't get a break. I'm good, Claire. Thank you. I'm just trying to get through this all so I can get to the next part, right? So you don't get any break here. You got to stay on the curb like this. Right? And then this is a trick for you guys, right? If you go on the road, you get, like if you were to put the car here, like more, again, this is about track width, right? Say, let's imagine the car was on the road, like completely, like so the left side tires are on the road. When you get to that turn there, you have to turn the wheel so much. And when I told you, you use as much of the width of the track as you can, the least you have to turn the wheel. So a trick here is, you see how there's some green? It's the same thing as that the final corner I taught you before you start the lap. That's smooth, and you won't get any wheel spin. So what I do is I place the car, show you in cockpit mode. We place the car on that green there, just on the green, and then as the green disappears, then we go back onto the curb, right? And all it does is it lets me use more width, so that when I turn into the right here, I don't have to turn the wheel as much. Yeah, that's all it is. It just gains you more time. You carry more speed in the corner. Every little bit matters here. Yeah, so you can see here on the green, and then as soon as the green ends, I'm back on the curb. So this one is pretty straightforward. We just turn in. And the braking marker here, look, it's going to depend on the car. It's usually like, where did I brake here? Let me see. It's just after these flags, like just like a car length after, I would say. You kind of just get the feel of it. Like it's hard, like And again, it depends on your setup, depends on the car. But it's just after. So you approach them, and then you pass them. And yeah, it's kind of just like in the middle, maybe between the off-road. Yeah. By the time we go on the full brake, let's see. Yeah, by the time I'm fully on the brake, it's about, I would say, yeah, it's about halfway between the yellow markers and the red markers or whatever. In the total distance, yeah, about halfway between. You'll get the feel of it. So then again, here we just go down to third gear. Some cars can do fourth gear, maybe. Again, depends on your setup. All right, so we go back on the throttle. Now, you can touch the curb here, but not too much, because if you do, it makes the car bounce. Then you have to wait to go back on the throttle, which means you're going to lose time. Yeah, so you kind of just want to go next to it. Sometimes I've taken the curb a little bit on the edge, and it gains me time. It just, yeah, depends how much of a risk you want to take. You can see here, I think I'm in this lap, I'm right next to it. Like, look, I'm barely touching the curb. Yeah, there's not much. Do we go on it much? Nah. Yeah, it's like literally just the edge of the curb, okay? So this one, you kind of just feel. It's just as you clear the apex, really, of the corner. You'll feel the car grip up, and then you can go back on the throttle. So you see there? Short shifting also helps. If you do it really well, you can probably keep it in third gear and just go full throttle, and then upshift to fourth when you want. But if you feel scared like that you're going to lose the car, then upshifting early to fourth will help you keep the traction. Does LMU have real-time rubber laid down for the track? Off the top of my head, it gets saturated when cars drive on it. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Just try leave the like off-topic question just till after I do this, because I wanna get through this as soon as I can, because this is like the long part of it. So again, back on the throttle. Now you can touch this curb, and it will open up the corner a bit more for you. So if you see here, I think I do touch the curb a little bit. Yeah, we get on the curb a little bit. Again, it opens. It gives you more space on the exit so that you can just get the wheel straighter earlier, right? So if we go like this, you can see just a little bit. It's not much, just a little bit. If you get the car like over, like if you've got if you've got too much of the car on this blue curb, then the car will bounce, and then you might spin or you'll lose time because you can't go back on the throttle. So again, just a little bit, all right? Now, as we get to the top of the hill here, there's like a bump. So you got to be ready, especially from the limit. If your setup is a bit sketchy, you got to get ready to kind of jiggle the wheel to get it straight. Some people, you might not have this problem. Some people will have the problem. Depends on the setup, right? Because you can see here. See there? See how the wheel went to the left? I had to balance it because as you go down this hill, there's some kind of a bump here. Can we see it? It's here. It's like a hump. Can you see that? And then as you go there, the car going to get a little bit unsettled. So you just got to, again, depends on your setup. If you have more ride height, I think you won't feel it as much. I can't remember the specifics. But you can see here, I have to balance the wheel. See that there? And it's okay. You're not going to lose the car. It's pretty safe, but you just get ready for it because it does happen, especially when you're driving like really at the limit of the car. So then getting ready for the next corner. Now in the current tire model, it's ridiculous how you take this thing because it's literally like a brake flick. Usually you got to trail brake it properly, but yeah, in this tire model, it's a brake and a flick. But the braking marker, you see, you can use this. That's a bit too late. That box or whatever it is there, the electronic board, power board, whatever. You can see the railing here, or there's dirt on the curb. See how it's quite dark here? That's your braking point for the corner. So I usually go for the curb, or if you want, you can go for the railing. But usually you can always see the dirt on this curb. And we see here, as we go here, on the brakes. And it's not too much. It's just a little bit of brake. And I'll show you the bird's eye view quickly. You just use all the track. Yeah, you get it pretty much to the edge. Obviously, be careful, don't hit the grass, because that's going to spin you out. But you use all the track, right? We tap the brakes. Not too much. And like I said, right now, the cars will just practically like almost drift through these corners right now. But as we get to the apex, you can see here, we don't want to touch this curb too much. You can take a little bit of it sometimes, but what I notice is if you take too much of this curb, it will then like cause you to understeer outwards as you exit, which is going to give you an off track. So you see here, so I pretty much drifted through this corner almost crazy. But yeah, you want to just keep it on the curb. You can touch a little bit of the edge of the sausage curb, but don't go over that. Because if you do, the car bottoms out, and then as you exit, you're going to go off track here. So that's right on the limit, right there. That's like right, pretty much on the limit. Main thing is don't touch the yellow cut flags, okay? So now here, I can't remember. I don't think it activated for me there. No, I didn't. I don't think I got the activation, the track limit activation. So it must have been fine. Now, what I notice here, again, this one depends on your setup, right? So as you exit, I'll just show you the replay as you exit. Oh, shit. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I accidentally clicked on the bar. 121. Yeah, it'll be here. Is it this one? Just before 118 it'll be. Yeah, okay. Almost. Here we go. All right. So, all right, as we exit, again, don't take too much curb. And then you kind of want to, you don't want to turn the wheel too much. You should be kind of facing the curve here, and you just want to go, try and keep the wheel as straight as possible, right? So again, you're just minimizing the amount that you turn. So you'll see here that as I travel through the straight, the corner bends, the road bends, but I don't follow the bend. I go straight towards the railing on the right. So if you watch here, so we go across, because there's no point to turn. You turn the wheel, you lose time, because the car doesn't want to accelerate, like you won't build up as much speed because the tires are not in their optimal position, right? Main thing here is stay out of the middle of the track. Again, depends on your setup, but especially the very low ones, you're going to see all the sparks flying, right? And it's the worst in the middle there, and you can lose time by sitting in the middle because it's kind of like a hump or a dip or whatever you call it. So we are going to open up the corner, but don't go here, like on the edge here yet, because the road is quite bumpy and uneven, and you lose time by putting your wheel on there now. You got to wait for the right time, right? So see, I'm just staying in the lane here. And then as we get to the braking point, see, as we get to the braking point, then I move the car over, right? Now, the braking point at the moment, it's quite a bit unrealistic, but the braking point is like just before the 100-meter board, like halfway between the orange railing and the 100-meter board. It used to be basically on the orange railing or just after it, but now it's like in between. So we'll show you here. Yeah, it's like, yeah, about in between, bit after. Yeah, I'm full. So more or less, see where that color is? See how the railing goes dark? You can see that from the cockpit view as well, can't you? Yeah, it's as the railing, it's as this railing goes dark here. See that railing? So you come up to it. See that railing there? It's as the color changes. Yeah, so hard on the brakes here. Down to third gear. Now, you got to be careful with this curb. You don't want to take too much, okay? Because if you take too much, the car will kind of get pulled more to the right. And then what will happen is as you exit, when you hit, because you're going to have to hit the brakes to go to the left now, yeah? If your car's getting pulled to the right from the curb, when you hit the brake and try to turn left, the car will snap and you'll spin. So you want to just go next to the curb. You can go on it, but if you go too much, it's going to pull the car. So see here, it's just on the edge of the curb, okay? And we're still applying, again, it depends how much speed you carried into it. You might have to brake more depending on how much speed you took into it. But you look at it here, we go in. Sorry. Turn in. Hit the apex, but I'm still a little bit on. I think I carried too much speed, so I'm still on the brake a little bit, which is fine, right? And then as we reach the apex, we got to get ready to flick the wheel. We brake and we flick the wheel to the left to then line up the next apex. Okay. So you see, we go a bit harder on the brake. So I'll show you. We trail in for the corner. Then we reach the apex. I go harder on the brake. Downshift to second. So as you hit the apex, you downshift to second and flick the wheel to the left like this. Like that. Yeah, we just flick the wheel over to the left. Again, trail braking is important here. If you don't trail brake enough, the rear of the car will come out and you'll spin. Or you'll lose all your lap time. Same thing goes here as well. When we touch the curb, you just want to go on the curb, but not too much, because if you go too far onto it, the car's going to scrape on the curb and you're going to lose all your time. Okay, and you could spin too. So you see here, just on the edge of the curb. And what you'll find is when you use the edge of the curb, it'll pull your car into the corner and help you rotate more, just very gently. And it just helps you carry a bit more speed because the curb is pulling the car into the corner to assist your rotation, right? Like so. So then when we go back to our cockpit view here, again, we're going to be facing more or less the line here. Just trust the process, straighten your wheel out, and then you'll end up meeting the final apex. So you see here, back on the throttle smoothly, straighten the wheel, and then we should end up meeting the next apex here, the next curb. Same thing here. This curb, if you touch a little bit, it can help pull the car into the next part, right? And in fact, I actually took a little bit too much curb there. I probably lost a little bit of time, but you get the idea. You just want to touch the curb. And it'll pull the car a little bit. Then as we exit, again, the road's going to bend, but again, trust the process. You're aiming for the railing ahead. So again, it's about turning the wheels as little as possible. So you see, we exit the corner, and I'll let the car drift out, right? So I don't have to turn the wheel as much as possible. Then the next corner is going to be, it's starting on the right. So you just move over to the right as you can, like when you can. You don't have to yank the wheel or anything. Just move over gradually like this. And prepare for the next corner. Exact same thing as the previous corner, except you're doing it from the right now, yeah? So this, you're going to use this road on the side, but it's too bumpy right now. It's going to cost you time. So just stay on the main road here, then the lane. And then as we reach the braking point, then we move over. So you see here, so the braking point is just before on the 100-meter board. Now I move over to open up the track width, yeah? So it should be just before, just on. Yeah, it's just before the 100-meter board. Again, every car's different. You might be able to brake late. You'd probably be able to brake later in the BMW or something, right? But the trick here is you can't carry, if you try and come into this corner too hot, too much speed, it's actually better to brake earlier here because this one requires a bit more finesse, right? The previous corner, you can really send it and then, yank the wheel in and line up the apex. Here, it's the corner's a bit more deceptive, right? If you turn in too early, you're gonna hit the curb, the car's gonna bounce, gonna crash. If you turn in too late, you're gonna miss the apex. You're gonna have to turn the wheel too much. The car's gonna spin. You're gonna crash. So you've got to really just try and get it on the curb, and I'll show you what I mean. So again, down to third gear here. So go to cockpit view. Same thing here. Just gotta be patient with it. Again, look where the tire goes. See our bird's eye view. I could probably take a bit less, to be honest, but it's okay. You're just using the yellow there. If you go over this, the car's going to scrape. You're going to bottom out, okay? The same thing. See, it'll just kind of, the curb will kind of pull it and let you glide into the apex. The main thing here though, you'll see when we come in, you can't be lazy, right? You gotta be right on it. As soon as you get onto the apex, straight into action, downshift to second gear, and then get ready to flick it into the next one. Here you lose so much time. People think they're understeering. You're not understeering, you're just not turning in early enough. That's why it feels like you're understeering, right? I can't remember if I actually turned in on time on this one. So as you go into it, see, I didn't wait. I was still actually like, I had my wheel to the left a little bit, right? So if you look here, as I downshift a second, I'm still on the curb. But you got to do it nice and early, because then what happens is as you exit, again, same thing. Flick the wheel over to the right. You see? Exact same thing, guys. Get the right tires onto the curb, and then the curb will help pull you into the corner. Windscreen wipers? Nah, no windscreen wipers, bro. This car, yeah, nah, no windscreen wipers being used right now. Same thing. Again, don't get the car past here, because then the car will bottom out on the curb, and then you might spin, or you'll just lose all the time, because you'll hear it. The car will scrape on the curb, and obviously don't touch the bollards, right? And it's the same thing here. Trust the process. As you exit, you go out nice and wide, right? So we go. Again, it looks like, oh, we're not going to make it. You are going to make it. You open up the steering like this, and then you're heading towards this next curb on the exit here, like this. Again, you get the wheel straight up to third gear, and same thing. And answering all your questions, yeah, just listen. Trust me, brother. I explain everything. Same thing here. Don't touch this curb too much. It's gonna make the car like it'll oversteer. It can like it over revs and it could spin. You're just gonna ride the edge of it. Again, depends how much speed you carried. And it's the same thing. As you touch this curb, you're gonna go out wide to the right now, yeah? Because what you see here depends. If you did it really on the limit, you're gonna use all of this track width, okay? But see how far you can actually come out? You can use all of this as the exit, right? It's fine. It's not too bumpy, but I've seen if you really take all the speed, you will end up there, like on the edge of that track if you really sent it hard enough, right? But then same thing, as you exit, you're going to prepare for the next corner. So you just move slowly over to the left. Like that, just slowly over to the left. So now as we get to this is the Mulsanne kink or whatever you call it. It's the exact same thing. You're already not going to say, we're going to use this track, but it's too bumpy right now. It's going to lose time if we touch it. We're going to wait till the braking zone, right? So again, we head over, and then again, same thing before we turn in. So this corner, you don't brake here. You turn in for the corner first, then you hit the brakes, right? But basically, you turn in as you reach the 100-meter board, more or less, was it? Yeah. So as you reach the 100-meter board, you turn in. Again, you're going out over to this bumpy section of road so you don't have to turn the wheel too much. So you can get the wheel straight sooner, okay? So again, same thing. We reach the 100-meter board. And then we turn in for the corner. And the braking zone here, man, you got to be brave. But if you want to really gain the time, you got to be super brave. You got to brake nice and late. So I started braking here. I could have braked later. I think I got a bit scared here. But it's more or less as the curb starts. The safe place is as this blue and yellow curb starts. So as you reach the blue and yellow curb, yeah, as we reach it. If you see here, so even earlier, yeah. So it's I could have braked later, to be honest. I should have braked later here. Some people, like sometimes I'm braking like nearly at the bend of the curb. Again, depends on the car you're using. BMW can be very aggressive, just depends on, you know, what kind of brake bias you're using and everything. Alpine, you got to be a little bit more careful, right? So as we reach the curb, and the trick here is to get your wheel as straight as possible. This is very similar to the first corner, right? Remember, first corner, you got to turn the car in flat and then slam the brakes. If your wheel is turned here, you're going to snap and spin the car. You got to get the wheel nice and straight. And the trick here is some people, they see this corner and they go, oh, we're turning to the right, so I'll start turning right now. No, you don't do that. You aim as you come in, I'm still not turning. I'm aiming the car straight ahead to the curb that's on the left. See, look here. The turn's coming, but I'm ignoring that. I'm going straight ahead. I'm still going straight. I'm literally aiming to get my car over to the left side here. Right? So we go, show you again. We come in. And again, here's the same thing. You gotta be brave. Bang, 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 bang on the downshifts. Nice and fast, right? And again, we aim the car for the left side of the track here. Okay, it's kind of like a V. You imagine it's a V. We go from the curb. So from where the curb bends, we go from here to that point, and then we go inside. It's like a triangle, okay? So we get the car slowed down to... Some people use second gear, some people use first. It's up to you. And do you see where... see here where you get the feeling for it. Eventually you don't need to use it, but when you're learning, see how the paint is like gone from this white line? That's where you turn in more or less. So as we get closer, you can see how it's like faded? That's the turn-in point. So if you see here, there you go. Turn in as we reach the paint. And then you don't want to use... sometimes you can touch... You just avoid the bollard, obviously. And then as we turn in, I'll show you. It's all about the exit here, right? As we turn in. That's about as far as you want to go. If you touch the bollard or the red sausage curb, it's usually going to be an off track. Okay. Now, again, it's all about the exit. So you got to really get the car slowed down, because if you cook it too much, you're going to come out and then you're going to have to wait to go on the throttle. And then all your time gain is gone for the whole straight, because you've got a big straight coming up. So you've got to be right on the throttle. You've got to really, it's all about the exit here. Okay. So again, I'll show you the corner. So really fast, bang, 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 bang. Turn in. And then you got to make sure you get the wheel straight as possible here. If you don't get it straight, you're going to spin into this barrier on your right here. Sometimes if you're scared, you can upshift the second gear early to stop the wheels from spinning as much, yeah? As we exit, try to avoid this curb, because this curb is quite harsh and it makes the car bounce. Same thing, you get wheels, you get too much traction activation. And look, you got a long straight here. Any track you do, it doesn't matter if it's like Le Mans, Spa on the back straight, whatever. If it's a long straight, you have to get the exit perfect. Otherwise, you're going to lose so much time all the way down here. Okay. So as we exit, I'll show you the corner again. So turn in, wait, back on the throttle, right? And get the wheel straight as possible. And then you got your long straight here. I'll just show you what I do. So the aim here is you don't want to turn, you want to try and keep the wheel as straight as possible, right? So as you approach this corner, see how it kind of turns? You don't want to be going over here and then turning in. You want to cut across, so we keep the car kind of as straight as possible through the bend. See there? We're going to try and keep our line as straight as possible. Don't follow the road. Just see the straightest way forward on the main road here, right? So show you again. See, it's curving, but I'm ignoring it. I'm keeping my wheel straight and then coming back out. Okay. Same thing here. There's bumps on the car bottoms out a lot in the middle. Stay away from the middle because you'll lose time. You can lose like a tenth or something just from scraping the middle. Same thing here. See the road's about to curve. Oops, sorry. The road's about to bend. I don't follow the road over here to turn in. I cut across and keep it straight. Like that. Okay. So now we're coming up to our next braking point. Now again, this is going to really depend on the car you're using, the setup you're using, right? You can be pretty aggressive with it in the current tire model. So same thing. Again, we're going to go over to this bumpy section of track where the red is so that we can open up the corner as much as possible. Okay. So you'll see we've got the 100-meter board here and the green. The green is where you turn in. That's telling you, hey, as you reach the green, this is where you turn in for the corner. Okay. Now I can't remember if I screwed this one up here. I may have lost some time. I can't remember. But as we come in, we reach the green. Again, this is going to depend on your setup. If your setup is more sketchy or whatever, like if your car's more understeery, you'll see I'm going like still flat out as I turn in, but you might have to lift and brake here, like at this point. Like here, you might have to do it here. I'm lifting a bit here. So again, it depends on your car, right? Same thing. I'll show you. See, we're using all the TRAK, and then we just start braking, but not too much. We've got to carry the speed in here because it's a very wide entry, so we've got a lot of space. Yeah, so we don't brake too much. See my brake? It's not much at all. Now try not to touch this curb because then it'll make the car bounce over to the left. We don't want that. Again, you can see I'm not braking too much, just a little bit. And then I'm getting it slowed down gradually. This one is all about getting the car slowed down to second or third gear, whichever one feels more comfortable for you, and then gliding into the next apex, right? So here. So we brake just a little bit, bang, 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 bang. And then we just glide in. Same thing here. Bird's eye view. As we reach the apex, don't touch this curb too much. You can go like on the edge of it, because if you don't, it's going to make you bounce into that sand trap, and your race will probably be over, or you are going to lose so much time. All right, so here, just the edge. The very, like, oh, actually, I know I'm taking a bit too much. I think you can take that. The main thing is just don't bottom the car out. Like, don't get the car onto the curb and make it bounce, right? Otherwise, it's going to make you bounce into the gravel trap. Like so. I'll show you the cockpit view. So turn in. Again, be patient. Don't be too early on the throttle. Otherwise, the car's going to spin to the left. And then get the wheel straight. And that's the corner done. Okay. Now, this one's more like you don't want to send it too hard into this corner. It's more about letting the car kind of glide into it. Again, I did make some mistakes on this. I could have got a 322 if I got everything right. So I can't remember if I made a mistake here, but let's see where I brake real quick. Oh, no, it's okay. But basically, the braking point is about halfway between the two Goodyear signs, yeah? Yeah, it's about halfway between the two Goodyear signs. But because you're opening up the track, this is bumpy road. If you hit the brakes too hard, the car locks up and you drift and you slide, and that's it. Game over. So you've got to be really careful. So watch my brake meter here, okay? So as we approach it. So watch the brake. It's just like, you know, we go full, but then I trail off very early. Where the red part gets lighter. Nah, that's a bit too late. That's a bit too late. Let's see. Just before it. Like, you'll get the feel of it. You get the feel of it. It's roughly in between the two Goodyear signs, yeah? So again, look, watch the brake. I go on the brake, but then I come off the brake very early. See, I'm already trailing off. You'll see. I'm already starting to come off of it. And then as we come in, you can touch the curb. That's okay. So I actually locked up here. So I was on the brake too much. So I must have made a mistake here. There's a bit of a lockup. You can hear it. Let's see. A little bit. It's just because I hit the curb. It's fine. Not a big deal. The main aim is you go down to first. Hey Nick, how are you, brother? Then as we reach the apex here, what you don't want to do, do not get, it's very easy to do it, do not get your wheels onto the grass, because there's like, what you'll see is there's a hump, like a little hill. Let me try zoom this in a bit. Actually, if I use this, yeah, so you can see there's like a hump here. If you get the wheel there, the car bounces too much and then you can't go on the throttle, okay? You kind of just want to glide over this curb. That's not a good angle. You're not going to be able to see it properly. Zoom it out. We just kind of glide over the curb and then back on the throttle. More than that, and the car's gonna bounce. You're gonna lose all the time again. Matisse, thank you so much for the follow. Then as we exit, same thing. Let the car drift over to the left. Main thing here, you got to be very careful with the throttle. If you got the wheel turned too much when you put the throttle, the car's going to spin into the barrier on the right. Like that. You glide nice and easy. So show the corner again on the brakes. Down to first gear. And just let the car glide. To be honest, I think I took a little bit too much. It was okay. Because you can see the car didn't bounce. It just went over the rumble. But you want to try and get a little bit less than that. Because as little curb as you take, the sooner you can go back on the throttle. You won't lose speed that way, right? So again, over. Try not to touch this curb here. Because this curb is the same as that previous one we did on the Mulsanne King. It makes the traction activate too much. Oh, did you get crashed already? GG, bro, sorry. So again, straighten the wheel out, avoid that curb, and then same thing here. Onto the next straight. Again, it's all about the exit here. This is a long straight. You got to perfect the exit, otherwise lose too much time. Now here, I've found it's faster. See how it bends here? Rather than come across to the other side like you think you would, I found it's actually fast to follow the curve here. So if you see what I do, I follow the curve, right? Because you don't turn the wheel much. It's not much of a sharp turn. And then same thing here. You're not going to go out. You're going to follow this curve here because you go over to the left quite a lot. Same thing here. Now we use as much track as we can. You can see we get over to the right, so over to the left, sorry, as much as possible. Now, this kind of depend on your setup. If you're driving like a safe car, you're probably gonna get understeer here. So you're gonna brake at the spot where I show you, and you're just gonna get the wheel turned in, and it's gonna be quite easy. My setup is very sketchy here, right? So I'm like, I think I may have made a mistake here, possibly. Because I think I almost spun because it's very sketchy. It's like almost death. But for most of you guys, the car's going quite fast. The downforce is sucking the car down to the ground. It's really pushing it down. You've got so much grip, you're going to be fine. If anything, you'll understeer here. But basically, it's the same thing as the previous corner. The green here is more or less where you brake and turn in for the corner. Okay, so let me see if I screw this up. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I was a bit hesitant, but this setup I'm using, it's very sketchy. It's an esports setup, and if you don't control it properly, it'll spin and you die basically instantly. But if you're using fixed setup or a safe setup, you'll be fine. Let's see, same thing here. You can see. You see, we start braking as we reach the more or less on the green. We go down to, I go down to 6. You might have to go down to 5th. It just depends on the car. And then same thing here. I'll go back to the cockpit view as we turn in. The one thing you don't want to do is do not touch that curb. That curb is going to bounce you over to the right into the gravel trap. All your time is gone. It's game over. You might even, crash and destroy your car. Again, it's about being, usually depending on the setup. If it's safe, you can go on the throttle pretty early, but you kind of just want to clear it, and then you can get the car out to the left and then back into the right. Okay, like this. You see, I'll show you. So we go back on the throttle, we go out to the left, and then we come back into the right. Now, again, I think I carried too much speed. Usually you would be over here a bit more, and then you kind of just turn in nicely into the apex. This is all flat. Again, don't touch this curb, because then it will bounce you into the wall, and then you'll die. Now, you can touch just the edge of the curb. It's unnecessary to touch it. It's a little bit bumpy too. Again, depends on the setup. But as we come into the curve, it all happens very fast here, right? We turn in. Again, depends on your setup. I can go flat here when I turn in. You might have to lift off the throttle slightly as you turn in here. But you wanna make sure you turn in early enough so that as you come into the left, you put the car next to the curb. Don't touch. Did I touch it here? Nah, I didn't touch it. I went right next to it, right? So we come in, turn in nice and early, and we'll go just next to it. Because if you touch this curb, same thing, gonna bounce you over to the right. All the lap time's gone. So we come in, and then as we clear the apex, we're going to aim now for the apex on the right. And the braking point is there's a line here. See this white line? And we'll go into the chase cam. Now, I think I screwed up. So I think I carried too much speed maybe, or I got a little skid because, again, my setup's a bit sketchy. So I braked a little too early here. It's going to depend. But it's usually, you know, on or just before this white line is your braking point. And what you're going to do is you hug the apex rather than going out wide. You actually lose time. You're going to hug this apex and follow the curve. And you're just going to keep dabbing the throttle to maintain your speed, right? So go back to cockpit view. See that? Now, again, my setup's sketchy. So I was sliding. But if you do it properly, it's just going to grip with a safe setup, and you're just going to, you know, dab the throttle constantly to just make it keep rotating and follow the curve, right? Like that. Like you see here, my rear came out because, again, I'm using a sketchy setup. Not the end of the world. Maybe lost like half a tenth, if that. But then again, you see we're hugging the corner here, and we're going to try and line up the car with the right side of the track here. Okay. Now the next kind of it's you don't brake here, you lift. It's the turn-in point, the lift turn-in point. It's the red Avis board. I think that the off-road is a bit too late. Let me just have a look. I think I screwed this corner up though. Oh no, I did it right. So it's you can use the red Avis board. Or you can use as the grass ends, you know, as you get to the, I think using the actual off-road's too late because you'll have to turn the wheel too much. But the main thing is you just want to try and connect with the next apex, basically, right? So if we go here, the chase cam, you see we lift, keep it in fifth, and then a trick here, right? Because what will happen is if you just lift and coast the car in, the car's going to drift out wide and understeer. But there's a trick here where as you turn in, see I apply the throttle. So I'm turning in, and then watch the throttle. See, I apply the throttle. That as the car starts to turn in, it helps kind of keep the car going towards the apex rather than drifting out wide. You don't stay on the throttle, okay? You lift back off of it. So if you watch the throttle meter, and then I lift again, see? But that stops the car from drifting out wide and helps keep a tight line here. And as we exit, what you can do, if you really put it on the limit, you can go to the exit here. So as you get to these sausage curbs, if you get the car just on the edge of this curb, it pulls the car to the left a bit, which gives you a little bit more extra rotation. So when you exit, you can carry a bit more speed, right? Because you're not going to understeer as much as you go out. But if you go onto the curb, it's going to either be off the sausage curb, it's going to be either an off track, or it's going to spin the car. You're going to die. So you see, we come out, and then we can use all of this track limit here, more or less. Just don't touch the anti-cut curb. So I'll show you again. We're going to go back. So again, turn in, dab the throttle, back on the throttle, and then we use all the track width here. You can see, I think, are we just on the edge of it? Yeah, that's like pretty much track limits. I can go a little bit more. There's no need, because what you'll find is that you don't want to touch these curbs too much, because we're going to find they're a little bit too harsh and they can reduce your speed a bit as you exit. Okay. So again, we'll go back to cockpit and just show you. So in, back on the throttle, open the steering wheel up, and that's the corner done. Okay. Now next one, we can touch this curb here. Again, it's not mandatory, but you just the same thing. You want to turn the wheel as little as possible to maintain speed. So you see, I hit it, so I instead of turning, I can go straight. Same thing here. You can touch the curb a little bit. You can actually go over it more, and I think it can gain you a little bit of time. But you just keep the wheel. You can actually go on the curb a bit more, because this curb is like quite flat, so it's not going to interrupt your speed much, right? But Again, it's not the biggest deal, but then again, as the corner turn, as the bend comes up, you're going to go over to the right, because again, keeping the wheel straight. And you can put your wheel onto the blue, that's fine. Remember, track limits is always keep the 2 wheels on the white line. That's track limits, okay? So as we come onto the straight now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either brake early and carry heaps of speed into the corner, or you can really absolutely send it like a madman and just try to survive and just go onto and just try and, you know, maintain the car without spinning onto the curb here, okay? But basically, as we come in, the braking point is like about halfway of this dotted white line. You can see the dotted white line. It's about like, yeah, it's about halfway, I'd say. Again, some people brake earlier and they just throw the car into the corner more at a higher speed. Some people brake earlier and trail brake more into it. It's up to you how you want to do it, okay? But yeah, it's about halfway of this entire dotted line, okay? So we go down to 3rd gear. What you got to be careful here, sorry. What you need to be careful though, see how we use the track, but like, yeah, it's good to use all the track, but when you get to this curb, you can't touch this curb. Because what you'll see here, we can't use too much of it. Do you see right here? See how the curb has like if you look at the color, see how there's like a crease there, like a line? That's actually like a hump, like a triangular line. And what'll happen, right, is if you think, oh, I'll take all this curb, what happens is you get the middle of the car on that. Can I get it closer? Here, see how there's like a bend? It's like a hump. If you put the middle of the car on that hump, it will actually pull you into the pit lane. Like the car actually gets pulled into the pit lane and you basically get forced to pit, right? So you want to go on this, but you don't want to go to the point where you're on that hump, right? So if you see here, I maybe could have taken a bit more. Let's see how much I took. Yeah, I actually avoided it because I was like scared of taking it. But basically, you can get the wheels a little bit onto this curb, but don't make sure you don't touch this hump here and get the middle of the car onto it, because you will get pulled into the pit lane. Okay, so go back to our cockpit view. So down to 3rd gear. Now this curb is okay to touch. This curb you can touch, but not too much. Okay, so the track limit is pretty much the white flag. You can see I'm right on the track limit here. This is like on the limit right there. There's like nothing, almost nothing there. Okay, so as we come in, I'm just coasting it. I give a little bit of throttle, I think. No, so it depends. If you coast it in more, you'll give a bit of throttle. But I came in really hot, so I didn't go on the throttle. I just carried more speed into it, right? So here, you tap the brake. As you reach the apex, tap the brake again. Tap the brake again, and then same thing. Flick over to the next apex. Now, do we take... It depends. Like, you shouldn't take too much of this curb, right? That was okay, yeah. What happens is if you touch the sausage curb or go, like, a little bit too much, again, the plank is going to hit the curb and the car becomes unsettled. It can bounce too much and spin to the right when you exit, okay? So we go back here. So that's about as much curb as you can take, yeah? Because otherwise you can't go back on the throttle when you want. So as we exit, hit the curb, then we go a little bit of throttle, but you can't be greedy here, just a little bit, right? And we keep the wheel locked to the right because we want to get the car over to the right side of the track to open up the next chicane. So you can see we're here, and then we open up the corner. Now this one, you can, again, same thing. You can brake earlier and carry more speed, or you can go close to this curb and brake, you know, as you reach it. Up to you. I did it just before because I think I carried too much speed previously, but as you reach it, you go on the brakes a little bit and go down to 2nd gear. So just a little bit here, down to 2nd gear, and then flick the wheel over to the left for the next apex. Now, same thing here. You can, I can't remember if I can't remember if they have a, I don't think they have a white flag marker here. I don't think I took it out. I maybe took it out. I can't remember. But basically the track limits is, see the wheel, it's on the line. If you go further than this, you can touch this curb. That's fine, the sausage curb. But the right wheel has to be on the white line. Otherwise, you invalidate the lap. Okay. So I'll keep it in this view. Actually, we'll go back to cockpit just so you can see the rest of it. So we turn in. And then a little bit of throttle. Just a little bit. See, a little bit. And then Peugeot, thank you so much for the... I called it Peugeot. And then same like I said to you guys. You can touch a little bit of the exit here, but too much, it's going to unsettle the car. It's a very harsh curb. Look at it. It's a huge sausage curb, all right? So same thing. Because I explained this one at the start, but a little bit of throttle, and then just aim to put your wheel on the yellow curb, and then back on the throttle. So I lost time there because I bounced too much on the red curb. I could have lost up to a 1/10 from that exit there because it stops you from going on the throttle. But again, same thing. Get the car over. And then get your wheel onto the green because the green is smooth. The blue will activate too much traction. So show you again. So down to third. Keep it in third, then down to second. And then back on the throttle. And that's it. You did that. That's how you do it. That's the lap. Yeah. Thank you for your patience, guys. But that was the main part. Now, if you got questions about it, just ask me. For race fuel, just brake a little bit earlier than wherever I showed you here, or on the same spot. I think I braked a bit early in most of the braking zones here. So that's how you do the lap. We have the Coach Dave Delta time. I'll look at that. We'll take a look at that after. So now I'll show you guys how we prepare. Talking about Peugeot, how well does the 9.8? They both are quite good. I think the wingless is a little bit faster at Le Mans because it hits like, if it was a proper setup, it hits like 3. I think in the slipstream I got 344 kilometers per hour on the first straight. Thank you, Monsoon. I know it was a bit of talking. Anyway, so now you know how to do the lap. Now let's show you how we prepare for the race, right? So I'll show you the where are we? I'll open up Coach Dave Delta real quick. So we'll be using a lot of Coach Dave Delta and this new website Endurance Manager, okay? So Coach Dave Delta, so that was the quali time. Quali is not important now. We would care about the race time, right? So I did practice last night. I did some lap times. So now I'm trying to find out what my lap times are, how much fuel consumption I have, because then I'm going to input all that information into this Endurance Manager, okay? So if we go to this one here, where was it? Yeah, I'd say this is the best one. I did a 26.1 with a full tank of fuel yesterday, but we'll go 26.5. I think that's more realistic, okay? So I know my lap times already, right? We got, let's just say it's 3:25.6, okay? That's what it is here. Oh no, sorry, 3:26.5, all right? Now, I also want to know fuel consumption, everything else. Now, I'll show you guys what I do real quick. It's very easy. We're just going to go into the practice server here. No, we're going to go into the championship. Hey, what's this? Oh, 30 Jan. They put it here already. I was like, I didn't know they had this race going. So let's go to championship. I'll just show you quickly how we do it. Oh, no, I can just do it in... Yeah, I'll do it in championship. Why not? Doesn't matter. Show you guys on a proper... Is there time left in that one? 17 minutes. No, I'll just go in single player. Fine. Go in single player. Because that session is going to end now, right? So let's just go here to Le Mans. And we've got everything ready. The car's fine. I'm just going to make the track grip high. Because that's usually what it's going to be in the race. Just go heavy. And this doesn't matter. Let's just leave this the way it is. And we'll go onto the track. So literally all I'm doing is a couple laps with the race fuel till I get a time I'm like comfortable that will be the general race time. I'm not going to actually do all those laps now because I've already done that. I'm just going to show you what I do and what I look at quickly. So I'll do like 2 laps, yeah, just to show you, like an out lap and one hot lap. I'm just going to load my setup quickly. 6 hour load. Okay, and everything else is, we'll just use the medium tires, and yeah, we'll put 99 liters. Not going to need 99 liters. Now I just have to find those missing seconds. There's so much time to gain, man. Like, I think if I do everything right in quali, I can get a 3:22. But like the go time for this was a 3:21.9. Like, what the hell, man? It's crazy. But again, current tire model, you can abuse so much slip. That's probably where all the time is. So I'm just going to do 1 out lap and then 1 normal lap. Tires are cold and they're quite deadly at Le Mans as well. The car becomes very understeery. Also, let me know what you guys think of all this stuff on the screen. I just set it up for today so that you can see all the, you know, the numbers and whatever. But just let me know what you think of it. And I'll move the camera to show you guys the MFD box when we finish the lap. But yeah, just warming the tires up. We're just going to do 2 laps. And you're going to be really careful on the corner exits with the cold tires because yeah, it's pretty deadly. Said the tire update got pushed back to February. Hopefully it'll be good. Fingers crossed, my friend. I hope it brings, because right now they're very sim-cadey. They're hypercars, but yeah, hopefully it brings the finesse back into driving these cars. I hope they don't mess up the new tire models. Look, they've been doing a really good job so far at 397, so oh, look, I'm optimistic. I believe, I have faith. And don't forget, if you guys, that tutorial I gave of the track, I have proper track guides made better than that, to be honest, with all the slow-mo and everything for you guys, for every corner and everything. They're all on the YouTube channel for every track, pretty much. Only Paul Ricard and Silverstone are missing. And we have some GT3 guys as well for 3 tracks. 2 or 3, I can't remember now. But they're all on the YouTube channel. So we'll do 1 more lap after this, and it doesn't matter, the lap doesn't matter. I just, you know, show you guys what we get in terms of the fuel consumption and all that. No, I'm not developing any setups. I don't really have the patience for that. All I do is with the track guides, we use the fixed setup just so that they're usable for everybody. So all my track guides are done with the fixed setup. And I just make changes to the electronics, because obviously you can change the electronics. And nobody needs GT3. Come on, brother, you gotta show some love to the GT people out there. It's all about hypercar superiority. Who am I kidding? It's all about hypercar superiority. So we'll just do 1 more lap. See, I was full throttle the whole time. You don't, as long as you just get the car's wheels straight and just bang, bang, bang on the downshifts, you're going to be fine. We are winning, Robert. We are winning. 6-hour tutorial? Yeah, exactly. Not an actual 6-hour tutorial, I hope not. I'm trying to get through it all as quickly as I can. The new Ferrari F1 broke down during its shakedown. Well, that's awkward. Not really ideal. Okay, I'm not pushing or anything. I'm just doing the one lap just so I can get the fuel data. That's all it is. Are the paid CDA setups better than the in-game CDA setups? Yes, they are. They are. They're very drivable. As well as full fuel. As in, am I doing full fuel? Yeah, this is full fuel. I'm not pushing or anything. I'm just doing the lap to show you guys the screen so you see what I'm talking about. GT3 ABS has spoiled me. I'm now locking up in hypercars. It just takes a little bit of adjustment. It's not too bad. But you've already watched my hypercar braking guide anyways, didn't ya? Just follow the exercises in that guide. There's like 3 different exercises and it's going to help you get used to it. It's definitely worth it if you ask me. Mainly because of the Delta app. I'll show you guys how we use the Delta app after. The Delta app is so good, man, for finding time. It's like you compare your lap to faster people and you just copy what they're doing. It shows all their inputs and everything. You copy what they're doing and you just get faster. It's so good. Because it shows you like where you're losing all the time. See that? I'm just like using the throttle a bit, see? See that? See how you can run the car over the curb like that? It doesn't affect your time. Okay, so I've done my lap. Good, done the lap. Now we go to the... I'm going to move my camera quickly for you guys over here. Really quick, 1 second, so that you can see the window. Where are we? Okay, there we go. So, all we do now, let's just say I did the lap that I want, right? Like, I'm happy with the lap. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty comfortable pace for the race. A vid on the app? Yeah. I'll show you exactly how I do it. So, all we're looking for is this here. See in the bottom right? I can't use the mouse pointer while I'm in the sim. No, it won't let me use the mouse pointer while I'm in the sim. But in the bottom right, just look at the... You can look at the average if you want. I just look at the last, okay? So it's saying that there's 2 sections. There's virtual energy and there's fuel as well, right? 2 tabs. So we just write this down or type it somewhere. So 860 and 834. So you write down your last consumption. So 8.6. 860, whatever you want to call it, and then your fuel as well, 8.34 liters. Now, I've already done that. I've already got it. So now I'll show you what we do. So as I'm getting this information now, I'm adding it all into this website that I'm going to show you. What's a good race pace around here? 26 is pretty good, 25 maybe, but if you usually go for 12 laps. So you have to do lift and coast in most races at Le Mans anyways, you know what I mean? Unless it's like a full sprint race. So I've got my, let's just say I've got my fuel consumption. I know what I've done. They really need to have that information in the garage. Because as soon as you leave the garage, it's gone. Or as soon as you enter the garage, it's gone. So I go to my event here. And I'll just show you this website quickly. So basically, it's if you guys have done endurance racing before, right? It's like, you know how you have... actually, I'm going to... exit because all this overlay stuff is here. 1 sec. should turn the overlay off, I think. Will it turn the overlay off? I'll just hide the overlay. Oh no, turn it off, cool. So if you've done endurance racing before, you know, some people, they make a spreadsheet and they do all this stuff, like you're trying to figure out how many laps you're going to do, like how many laps will the race be, you know, and then who's going to drive when and all that business. This does everything. This helps you compile everything and then put it in a very easy plan. Okay. So what you can do, it's got a free and a pro version. There's some minor differences. The pro version lets you have multiple teams. It lets you add incidents that have happened during a race to then make it count, like time for extra time loss, incidental time loss. It'll put it into the calculation. And there was one more. I'm trying to remember what the final. Oh, he told me in the Discord. 1 second, I'll just get my Discord up because there's 3 extra features. Sorry guys, real quick, but they're all pretty useful. It was, so you can have multiple teams. Yeah, multiple teams. You can have more than 4 drivers in a team or in the race. And then you can also create, and then you can set weather parameters. Like I'll show you in a second. You can tell it like, oh, in the rain, I drive 1 second slower. And then if you say it's raining in the schedule, then it will automatically account for that loss of time from the weather. Okay. But anyway, so I've made a team already. And then you can create an event. So I've created my event already. I'll show you what I've done so far. And just let me know if it's too small, too big. Now, what we do is we tell the sheet what actual real time, like your time, whoever the first driver is, what time it's going to be, the race is going to be. So for me, it's going to be 8 p.m. my time on this time, all right? You're going to put the duration of the event. So our Le Mans race is tomorrow 6 hours. And then I've got 6 a.m. there. I'm not 100% sure because the practice server, it's at 6 a.m. So I've just put it there. It's not super important. Okay. Now you can put average lap time. And this is where that lap time that you were happy with, you're going to put that lap time here. Okay. So I just put 327 to be safe. Usually I'm doing 325, but with lift and coast, probably 327. Okay. But again, whatever your lap time is, you just put it out there. Now, this time entering pits, I haven't entered this properly yet. I'm going to have to test it tonight, do it tonight. But basically, you're going to tell it, so lap time entering pits, what is the lap time when you did your final lap before you went in for a pit stop? So you know how you do your lap, you come into the pit stop, you park your car. As you park your car, you cross the line. So what was the lap time then? You put that in there. Then lap time exiting pits, what was the lap time when you went into the pit, did the pit stop, did all the waiting, and then exited the pit stop. What was the time there? And you enter that there. Again, this is not accurate. I haven't done it yet, but you're going to get a general idea. That was the lap time stuff. Then we go to the strategies. Now, there's an iRacing version. Like if you take it off, it's a generic one. But if you tick LMU, it's specific for virtual energy and tire compounds, right? So what you can do is here, you tell it, okay, so how much did you use when you're pushing? Yeah, so I put, when I did the proper laps, I did 8.65% of virtual energy and 8.55 fuel per lap, right? That's the information you saw on the bottom of the screen. You're telling it how much you're going to use per lap, right? And then what is the refuel time? I put 41 because, as you guys know, when you do a pit stop, it takes 40 seconds to fill a full bar of virtual energy, 100%, and then you have 1 second BOP because LMDH, LMD, and LMH, they have to wait like 1 second. That's why I put 41, right? Then I'll cover saving after, I think. I think that's the bit. We'll talk about saving after because you will have to save at Le Mans anyways, but that's the basic stuff, right? You can put that when we'll do this part after. Then this is where you can add your drivers. You can add, as you've added people to your team, you can click plus and it will add them. It's just me and Nick doing it. Now here, what you can do is you can click the pen on your name and you can put, there's some important stuff here, like I rating and fastest lap. It's not really important, but race pace is what you want to enter here, because what it'll do is you're telling the calculator, okay, my time is this, and Nick's time is whatever you put for Nick's profile. And then it will know when Nick's driving what his time is, and when you're driving what time yours is, so that it'll do all the calculation properly. Then the other important thing here is it's not mandatory, but it makes it easier. It's probably one of the strengths of the website, is you tell it what your time zone is. So I'm GMT plus 11, and you can also choose a color for your profile, whatever you want it to be. So I'm GMT plus 11, and then Nick is GMT plus, minus 10, right? And what that does, you'll see why we do it in a second, but it makes it easy for people to understand when it's their turn to drive. Now, this is the forecasting I was telling you about. Again, it's a pro feature. I'm not going to use it today, but you can just tell it, like you can edit, like, oh, you can add something, when it's this condition, it's this much slower. Like when it's rain, the lap time increases by 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever. And that way, when you tell it what the weather is in the schedule, when you're actually doing the race, it will make those automatic adjustments for you. But for this one, I'm going to take all of this off because we don't want this. Okay. Not important for this one. It's going to be dry anyways. And then we have the schedule part, right? And this is where you can set who's driving. So you've added your drivers, and what will happen is, the information you've put here, it's going to automatically tell you more or less what, the race is going to be. Okay, the race is going to be 98 laps. You're going to have the stints from, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many laps they're going to be. Okay. Now, going off the information I added, it's saying 11 laps. Like I said, I'm going to do lift and coast. So we're going to make it 12 laps, and I'll show you how that works in a second. But you could choose, it's going to show you the stints. So you can go to planning, and then you can choose who's driving, who's assisting, who's sleeping, who's unavailable, whatever you want. So it's just me and Nick. When I'm not driving, he's driving. When he's driving, I'm not driving. And then it shows you each stint, and it's going to you can tell him, okay, this stint you're going to push. So let's just say it's push all the way here. Let's go push. Let's take saving off. And we can also tell it like, oh, okay, on this stint you're using new tires. On the next stint you're going to use, hard or used ones still, whatever you want. We just keep it the way it is here because I don't want to overcomplicate things. I'll tell it who's driving, who's assisting when for each stint, and then it just populates everything. So now we can see that I'm driving right at the start of the race, and it tells me for my time. I'm starting at 8 p.m. my time. But then when it's Nick's time to drive, all these times, they're in his time zone. So when he looks, he goes, oh, when am I driving? Oh, I'm driving, okay, midnight, my time. It's not my times, it's his time zone, okay? So now that's how all the basic stuff works, right? So I'm looking at the laps, and based off this, when I did saving, I know that we could get, it was 12, what is it? 8, is it 8-0? 1 second, 8.0. Pretty sure it's, well, let me write 0. Yeah, let's just say 8. Let's just say my laptop, my saving, when I save, it's 8 liters, right? And 8% virtual energy and 7.9. Then it should say 12 laps. It should be telling me to do, I need to put this down more, I think. It must be 7 point something from memory. If I go like this. Wait, so it says 12. Yeah, it's still saying 11 for some reason. Did I hit save? Because it automatically updates. 1 sec. Let's just put it here so it says approximately 12 laps. Maybe if I click here and go back in. It should be saying, oh no, I'm an idiot because I didn't tell it to save, sorry. So let's just say I've put my saving in, right? Then I go here, saving, because we want to last 12 laps, okay? Saving, and then we can make a push on the last lap, right? So we go push on the last lap. So now it's 12 laps. You can see here, it says 12 laps. So it's going to tell me how much I'm going to use, how much fuel we have to put in. So we put, you know, basically 95 liters. It's going to say how much virtual energy we're using. Again, we're lasting 12 laps. And then, you know, I can look here and I can say, oh, there's one stint where there's 2 laps left. If you really want to, we can try and test it and then say, oh, can I somehow take away those 2 laps? You could maybe do it, but if you go, to be honest, if you go 13 laps, you're losing a lot of time at Le Mans. It's like pretty detrimental to your race. You can do it, is a bit of a risk, but this is the app. It tells you, like, you know, this is what you're doing. Everything's planned out for you. It's telling you exactly what, you know, how much to fill. You know, filling this much. You would fill it to 100 though. You wouldn't fill it to 92.4 or whatever. Or actually, no, would you? Nah, you would still have it as 100 because you would have to use 100%. Yeah, because 12 would last 100. Yeah, 100% would last 12 laps with lift and coast. But anyways, when you start the race, you hit start, and then as the race progresses, it'll, you know, count down, and then it's just going to tell you, okay, he's on this lap now. He should be on lap 2, 3, 4. And the person who's watching can use this stuff, right, and tell you what's happening. Stop race. But again, this it has to be caps. Stop race. Here we go. But this just gives you a basic understanding. It's like a team workbench. You know what I mean? So it helps you plan everything out, and it should more or less be okay. Look, I'd say with traffic and stuff, we see what happens. It might not be 98 laps. We just have to see. But it gives you an understanding of what's going to happen in the race, what it's going to look like, so you can plan your stuff around it. You can decide who's driving when. Again, the more drivers you add, the more you see the strength of the app more. It's a really cool tool. So, and it's very easy. It's not much stuff to input. You just get the basic lap time and fuel, and you're good to go. Now, so we've done that. That covers the endurance manager. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Coach Dave. I'm going to try and do 2 stints, right? So now because you got 18 laps. What's the URL? 1 second. Can someone pay? I can't use it on this one. Oh, actually, let me do it for you here quickly. And then we'll jump into the server. 1 sec. I'll paste it in the chat for you guys. 1 second. Google. It's a free website. You don't have to. You saw there. You can get all the benefit from the free. You don't have to get the paid one. The paid one is just if you want the weather adjustments, incidental stuff to add in. Like if you have accidents and have multiple teams and multiple seat, like more than 4 seats. I'll just put this in the chat for you guys if you want to use it. It's really handy for endurance races. Very cool. Did this go through? There you go. It should have gone through for both. Put it in the Twitch one just in case it didn't work. There you go. It should be in both of them for you now. But that's the URL. Free website. Very helpful. Really cool. And yeah, like your teammates can edit stuff too, not just you. So it's like a workbench for your team to use. So now what I need to, so now that I know what my lap times are, I know that I have to lift to get the 12 laps to try and, you know, shorten the pit stops as much as possible. Now I need to practice lifting and coasting. And now I need to see the tire performance, right? Because there's some things you're going to ask yourself. One, you're going to say, how far can I take my tires in the race? Yeah. So in this race, you've got like 18 tires or something. You definitely got to double stint the tires, right? Because if it's like, what is it, like 9 stints, 8 or 9 stints, you've got to double stint, because you're not going to be able to change tires 9 times or 8 times or whatever when you've only got 18 tires, right? So we know we can double stint. But what I want to also see is not just that, but I want to see if it's possible to triple stint as well and see what the lap time is like. And that's where I do the laps and then I use delta to then you can have like an overview. If you go timing, if you do multiple stints, and then I can look at the times and see, you know, what's going on. And then we can also see what the tires are like too, right? During the stints to see what the temperatures are like. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to jump in the online server. And I'm just going to use the race setup and just going to drive it. And I'm just going to, hey Leonardo, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Just going to join the server now. I'm going to do laps, and it's good for you. You guys are going to see how lift and coast works as well, yeah? Because the key is the best thing you can practice when you're practicing for a race, especially endurance race, is try to do the same lap times with lift and coast, because you're going to gain so much of an advantage by doing that. Even if you don't, not trying to remove a pit stop, it's going to make a pit stop shorter because you're going to have more virtual energy left over. And what you probably find is that you drive better and more consistent when you lift and coast, rather than, you know, throttle and brake right on the braking marker. But I'm going to jump in the practice server now, and I'll show you what I mean, okay? So let's just go here. It's a full sign-up sheet too for tomorrow's race. It's going to be good. So we join this practice session. So this is all driving now, yeah? And you guys can see all my throttle inputs. You'll be able to see all the lap times and everything. And you see the difference in the lifting and coasting, okay? And if you don't know what lifting and coasting, all it is before your braking point, you're just lifting off the throttle rather than going full throttle all the way to the braking point. And what that does is it saves fuel and saves virtual energy as well. It helps you drain your virtual energy lower, okay? So we're going to use, it's a cold track in the practice server, very cold track, but that's okay. So I'm just going to go for, just load the setup again as well, 6-hour race. We'll just put medium tires on, that's fine. I'll just get the music off because we don't need music. And there's 2 hours in this session, so that's more than enough time. And we're just going to drive. Okay, so I'm going to warm the tires up, but again, same thing. I need to last 12 laps. And at Le Mans, to last 12 laps, you don't have many parts to lift. So you pretty much have to lift for almost every corner for every lap, basically, to last the 12, yeah? Ultras, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, brother. Let's jump out on the track. I think the server just opened up as well. So what I do here is I use my lift and coast lights, okay? Do you guys want is the camera okay there? Or should I move it somewhere else? Let me see. I'm just trying to think, where can I put it? We don't need to know, we don't need this information at the moment because we're just practicing, right? So that's fine. We need to know the other stuff. So I'll just do that. I'll put that like that. Let me just reset the car. Because yeah, that information not important right now because you've got everything else on the screen anyways. Let's go back on these tires. Cool, okay. Fine with the camera? Yeah, I just thought it was a bit low, that's all. Like, it was blocking the view of the apexes. And yeah, like, I'm assuming it's 6 a.m. because the practice server is 6 a.m. if you look at the information in the bottom left there. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope it's not 6 a.m. because it's going to be a very cold track. But we'll have to see. So, what you can do here, if you want to last one extra lap, is all you got to do is see on the save target, push up on your MFD in the fuel section and go +1. That's all you got to do. And then what will happen is these lights, these purple lights are going to flash, right? And I'm going to have to put my virtual mirror on just so I can see. There we go. These purple lights are going to flash and tell us when to lift before each corner. It's quite an intuitive system. Okay, so let's start the first lap. Again, we have to, the car's going to like lock up and understeer everywhere because it's so cold. It's 6 degrees. And the tires are also cold because there's no tire warmers. So we're going to really baby the car here. But usually it takes about It takes about 1 lap for it to for the saving system to get a grip on things and to really understand what you need to do. But you can follow it from the beginning. It's fine. But so what you'll see is that the lights will flash and they'll start the purple lights where it says A424 on the LED strip, and it'll light up and start counting down. It'll start emptying. When it goes off, that's when you lift. So let's see if it pops up now. It might not do it yet. See there, and lift. That's all it is. It literally tells you where to lift. It's quite good. So you don't have to guess yourself, see? Again, it's very cold track, so I've got to try and warm the tires up. Yes, but they're really good. They're on the GT3s as well, I'm pretty sure. So you can use them for both. So same thing, and lift. That's all it is. It counts down. Now the key here to getting good lap times while also lifting and coasting, you got to understand, when you lift for the corner, the car's already slowing down. So what that means is you can brake later than you normally would because the car's already slowing down, right? So if you lift and you brake where you usually brake, you're losing time. Again, I have to be careful because it's cold tires here because it'll lock up really easy. But basically, if you brake where you normally brake when you push, you're losing time, right? Because you don't need to brake that early because the car's already slowing down. So you brake later and it actually helps you maintain some of that lap time whilst lifting. But in general, depending on the track, you'll usually lose about 5 to 6 tenths when you lift, compared to full push. But the benefit is you use way less virtual energy, right? You also have a shorter pit stop because you've saved more virtual energy, or you last the extra lap, which can kind of remove a pit stop later to gain you time. And you look after your tires more because you're underdriving the car a bit. The tires don't get heated up as much. And what that means is that the tires perform more consistently overall. If you go full push, you're going to make your tires too hot. They're going to be fast at first, but then after a while, the lap times are going to start to degrade. And then overall, it ends up being a loss, right? But if you lift and coast, you maintain an acceptable tire temperature, and then your tires perform consistently throughout the stint, and that's what you want. It also, because your tires are being looked after and they're maintaining their consistency and their temperature, it's easier to then double stint with them. You know, almost died there because the track's still cold. If you push really hard and then you try to double stint, in the second stint, your tires are going to be so, it's so slippery. You're going to lose so much time in the second stint. Whereas if you look after your tires in the first stint, then the second stint will be much more consistent performance. Okay, tires starting to warm up now. Thank you, sir. Did I break my lap target? One sec, I think I've... Oh, no, it should be okay. But we know where to lift now, right? And we just kind of follow that same thing. And we keep an eye on it. And we want to try and make the average reach 12. Or the target reach 12. Not 11.6 or whatever. I'll never be a fan of lift and coast. It's very important in LMU. It is in longer races, very important. And we can actually probably put the you gotta be careful, Lamont, with the battery deployment. It's hard to regen your battery. So you gotta be, you might look like it's draining slowly, but it's quite hard to regen it. So you've got to be careful. Like, I'm on 20 kilowatts right now. Yeah, because it was trying to make me do 13 laps. And I was like, nah, that's too much. But if you do one lap, I think it lets you, after you change it, it lets you alter it again. It's nice sunrise. Again, you just want to try and make sure you don't slide the tires around too much, especially if you're in a double stint. How is the bot for hypers at Le Mans? Not great. Yeah, it's quite a cold track, so you're going to be careful. The tires are not going to have optimal grip. But if we just more or less lift before each corner, it'll go to, it should go to 12. Yeah. But it's good because it tells you where to lift more or less. Doing fuel saving, your pit stop should be shorter than other drivers, even if you can. Yes, because there's less. There's less for you to fill. So it takes 0.4 seconds. Well, 1% of virtual energy takes 0.4 seconds to fill up. Which is why 100% takes 40 seconds, right? So if you come into the pit, say you and another guy are both going to fill to 100, okay? He's on 1%. Like when he comes in, he's on 1% virtual energy. And you're on, let's say, 4%, right? Your pits, you're going to be, because you're 3% more than, you've got 3% more than him, you're going to be 1.2 seconds faster than him in the pit stop. That's how much of a difference it makes. So I've got to get used to this now. I've got to get used to lifting and coasting and braking late, because all my practice so far has been with pushing. But I'm just going to drive the laps. Again, we're going to aim to get it to 3:27 with lift and coast. Should be the goal lap time. 3:27 or like maybe 3:28. You end up overshooting the corner sometimes because you've got to get used to where you need to stop the car. Yeah, you can. What you can do as well. See here, virtual energy. That's how you know. See how it says 100% and then 12 laps next to it. That's how you know you're on target with your the way you're currently driving. So it gives you an indicator. If it still says at like 11, then you know you're not doing it enough. You need to do more. Yeah, the track is quite cold and the tires are medium, so it's going to be struggling a bit because the tires are going to be a little bit too cold. Because right now, yeah, the tires are way too cold for their optimal operation. They need to be in the 80s, but as I start to push the car a bit better with lift and coast, they should get a little bit more warm. But see, look at the delta. You know, I've been lifting and it's already up. And I could probably use more battery because the battery's quite high. Just a little bit. Hey, look at the delta. Still going up. And I'm using less fuel. And back out, the estimate goes down to 1. Yeah, the it's quite heavy on the virtual. I just, from doing races, right? From doing races in the Alpine, I get the feeling that it's a bit heavy on the virtual energy consumption, the Alpine. Hey Thomas, no, for the 6 hour tomorrow, brother. But pretty much to last 12 laps at Le Mans, you got to lift before every corner basically. And you got to be quite strict with it too. Because you don't get many opportunities to save fuel. Because there's so many long straights. So it was 1.3 seconds up already. Jazzy, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, brother. Oh, you better pay attention, Thomas. See, we lifted and coasted, we gained 3/10 already. Thank you, guys. Oh god, I almost died. Don't touch too much curb. But see, like I said, as long as you look at this here, if it says 12 laps on 100%, it means that the way you're driving with your current consumption will last 12 laps. That's what you're looking for. And we'll see. We'll get to the end of the stint and we'll see. Because I lifted more or less for every corner. See how I'm able to brake at the 100-meter board there? So when I showed you guys the track guide, I said, oh, you got to brake, you know, before just in between the orange railing and the 100-meter board. But because I lifted, I can brake at the 100-meter board because I'm already slowing the car down, which means my new braking point is now later. Yeah, Juzzy, I stream all the time, bro. to see you, Craig. Hope you're doing well, mate. What are my thoughts on the hypers on the wet? Hard. Have to see what happens when the new tire model comes in. And what I should do, right, is do a push lap and then do a, I might do that in the next stint actually. Do a push lap and then do lift and coast so you can see the difference in the time. It's usually between, at Le Mans it's between 5/10 and 1 second. It's usually closer to 1 second from memory. So usually I would brake in between the two Goodyear boards, because I lifted, I braked at the last Goodyear board. I'm struggling massively with hypers in the wet. It's not easy. You gotta make the car super soft. So make the anti-roll bar at the front very low, and then make the rear anti-roll bar very low as well. See, it's so much time game. And that was with almost, I lost all the time at the start too of the lap. But we can make it much lower. We can get push. I'm pretty sure we can get a low 28. Let's see. Yeah, make them very low in the wet, because the low ARB on the front makes the car turn in for you, and then the rear ARB being low makes the rear stable when you're in the middle of the corner. But they are very hard in the wet. See, braking at the 100-meter board. And there's no lockup because I've already lifted. The car's already started to slow down beforehand. So my new braking point is now later. It's just that the only issue, because the track is quite cold, with lift and coast, the grip's not as optimal because the tires aren't able to warm up enough. But it's okay, not a big deal. Ooh, overcooked it a bit too much. Not a big deal though. The lap time is still 1 second up. That's the hard one when you're lifting and coasting as well, because other hypercar drivers, if they're not lifting, they're going to try and send it on you there, so you've got to really defend that corner while lifting. Oh shit, what? Huh. Thought he was going to do the corner. Yeah, we made a few bad mistakes this lap, and it's still the lap is still 8/10 up. We can definitely do a like 28, probably 27. Yeah, we can get more. We've got plenty more time. Are you doing... Oh, that's solo, that race, right? Yeah, it is solo. See, we're 2/10 up already. Looking good. Nah. So does that weekly event have the LMP2 as well? I didn't know that. We should see the Delta jump up quite a bit in those 3 corners that I screwed up. No, the driver swap does not add time. Sorry, I missed that message. Yeah, the track is quite cold, so it's hard to get a bit of the grip here. But it's okay, it's not a huge deal. Oh, the old one, yeah. Probably braked a little bit too early there, because we didn't gain that much time from that corner. It's like 2/10 or something, right? Three tenths from that one corner. Yeah, it's like low 28. It's okay. It's a cold track as well, we've got to remember. So the tyres are not operating at peak performance. We can use the Porsche curves to warm them up a little bit though. Oh, there's the Delta. Hey, tense. Yeah, that's the one. That's good. 27.7 with lift and coast. That's good. They would, Craig, but the problem is we've only got 18 tyres for a 6-hour race. And the issue is if it gets too hot later, then those soft tyres are going to be useless to us. But yeah, in this current condition, yes, soft tyres would perform better. But we have to at least double stint the tyres every stint. So whether or not soft tyres will last 2 stints, I'm not too sure, but that's what we have to try and find out. See, cooked that one a little bit too much. But still managed to get some time back on the exit. Because the tyres aren't at optimal temp. Yeah. It is what it is. Again, if it's like this, but if we have to double stint, we have no choice. Oh yeah, we gained a bit of time there. It was good. Better exit. This is the 6-hour testing. The 6-hour, yeah. Oh wow. 3/10 from that corner. I did it much better that time. The fuel's also getting lower too, so we're gaining some time on the straights. We're gonna get a GT3 here. Well, look, 7/10. That, as it stands right now, that's a 26 with lift and coast. So it's pretty good because our lap time's about to get ruined by the GT3, but 8/10 actually. Oh, thank you. I was just gonna follow him through there, but fair enough. Try not to slide the car like that. Yeah, I'll try triple tomorrow. The thing is, if the track is cold like this and I use mediums in the cold weather, I think we can do a triple stint on the first set of tires, and that will give us a bit of an advantage. So you see a main example there. Usually you brake, the braking marker for that corner, like I showed you guys, is as the curb straightens up. But because I lifted, I can wait longer. So it's still saying 12 laps. So I'm on lap 9. Yeah, so we're going to get 12 laps out of this. We are. Because if you look at the virtual energy bar in the bottom right there, you'll see it's saying we're on lap 9, and it's saying we still have four laps worth of virtual energy. So we're actually lifting too much. I can lift a bit less now, actually. I think I won't lift for Tetra Rouge. We'll try that first. Would triple be viable? Yeah, it can be. Especially if you've been looking after the tyres. Yes, absolutely it can be. But it's a risk, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm thinking. Because if you look at the tyres now, what's the tyres on? Yeah, you don't need to have super high percentage of tyre life at Le Mans. So look, I'm looking at it now. We're 9 laps into the first stint. We're still at 81, 78. But judging by what it looks like at the moment, we're lifting too much. So we can do less. At what percentage of the tyre do you need to change it? Honestly, however the tyre feels for you. It's not 0%, but however it feels for you. Like at Spa, when the tyre reaches at Spa about 50%, the car starts to feel very dangerous. But if you look at it, it's like, oh, but I still have 50%. But the car feels very dangerous. So you have to just test it yourself first and drive the car and just see how it feels. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, so we've lifted too much actually. We have leftover. So that's good, we don't need to lift this much. But it does, I mean, we have to see how the grid is, right? If I see the grid's a bit slower, and I know I can get 13 laps the way we're driving right now. If they're doing slower times than 327, then I can go for 13. And then if we can do 13 for 3 stints, that will remove that final pit stop, that splash and dash. You struggle after pause curve section? Yeah, you can take a lot of curve on the first chicane, but not the second one. Carried a bit too much speed into the exit there. See what happens if you carry too much speed? The car needs to over-rotate, and because it needs to over-rotate for the first part, then for the final part it's going to over-rotate, it's going to understeer too much out wide. So I think we'll lift at the 200 meter board. I think 300 meter board's unnecessary. I found on the hypercars that it's not much the overall wear that's the issue. It's when the big difference in the wear from the front compared to the rears. Yeah, and temperature. If you're keeping them really hot, then they degrade so much. If it is even wearing and no flat spots, you can take them quite low. Yeah. But the main thing with the tires in LMUs, especially the hypercar tires, is the thermal degradation from temperature, not so much the tire life. Because if you're keeping the tires hot too much, they're just going to perform badly. They don't do well under high temperature. Exactly. If you look up, that's what I was saying. If you lift and coast and look after your tires, you'll find the lap times are very consistent, but throughout the whole stint. But if you're trying to push full on from the first lap, one sec, you'll see that the first few laps are quick, and then the laps after the first like 3 or 4 laps, they turn to rubbish. The main thing for looking after your tires at Le Mans is in Porsche curves, trying to do it without sliding or turning the wheel too much. So we got 2 more laps. So I've gone 13. So this is too much lift and coast, see? So I can lift later now. So I think I'll ignore... Yeah, I'm going to ignore Petra Rouge there. I'm just going to take it normal. Always see guys pulling on the first couple and then they're gone, yeah, because they didn't look after the tires. Like I'll tell you something in a second. Just let me. So at Spa, if you want to drive in an endurance race, an esports level endurance race at Spa, think about how hard it is to like keep, like, you know, Spa destroys the tires, right? We all know that. And even after one stint, a lot of people will be like, no way, I'm not double stinting. If you want to drive an esports level endurance race at Spa in this game, you need to be able to double stint your tires at Spa. 2 whole stints. That's what, 24 laps? Yeah, 26 laps, something like that. That's how much you need to learn to look after your tires. Because it's literally, it's everything, man. Hey James, how are you, bro? I don't know if James is in the chat here. All good, Craig. Look after yourself, mate. See you later. Thank you for stopping by. Let's better do the pit stop. Oh no, it's about right. Nice exit. Surely there is no such thing as too much fuel saving? Nah, there is, because if you're losing too much lap time, it's not worth it. Eventually you are losing too much lap time from doing it. See, this setup is so sketchy. If you get the turn in wrong, it's all over, you're gonna die. But I'm kind of used to it now. Yeah, the lap was about a second fast. I lost some time in the Porsche curves. Oh no, it was 12 laps, yeah. So look, we're on lap 12 now, and look at our virtual energy and fuel. 1.2, we're actually a little bit over. But see, yeah, just lift before almost every corner. Oh. Yeah, so you got to remember, turn 7, when you lift and coast, you still are slower. But by doing it well, you minimize the amount of time lost. So like I said, usually if you do lift and coast properly, depends on the track, but on most tracks, apart from Le Mans, it's about 5/10 to 6/10 slower. At most tracks, I would say. So 5 or 6/10 is not a big deal with lift and coast, but if you're trying to save more, you remember you have to lift earlier and earlier, and it gets to a point where it's unrealistic, where you'd be lifting so early it's not even worth it. There is a clear favorite. BMW, Porsche, Valkyrie, I would say, are the good picks. Yeah, go BMW, Porsche, Valkyrie. Best picks in my opinion. Oh, Caddy would be good too. Yeah, Caddy would be good here too. I think so. I'm just thinking, like, for the race at the start, if I should use the soft tire. I don't know if it's going to be a good idea though. Because like I said, when I use the soft tire, even in the cold condition, it gets very hot. Like way too hot. As soon as you go to Porsche curves, the tires become like 90 degrees, 100 degrees. And that's too hot for the soft tire. And if the tire stays like that for too long, then it's going to start sliding everywhere. But that's the risk you take. You want faster lap time at the start, maybe you do it. But I'm just not sure yet. That's it, breaking at the Le Mans text. Okay, so we're not changing the tires. Now we're going to see how the... Now remember, all my data right now is being, excuse me, recorded on Coach Dave Delta app, right? So we're going to have a rough look. Some of the lap times here were slower because of the traffic or whatever, right? But then we're going to look at the lap times from this first stint to the second stint now. So I'm going to do this second stint, and we're going to see what it looks like compared to the first on the Delta app, because it records everything. Hey Cloud, how are you, bro? Good to see you. But the pace changes with the soft tires? Yes, it will be faster, but it might not be faster for long because maybe the tires get too hot and then the car becomes very slippery because the tires are too hot. That's what I mean. When you take soft tires, always a risk in this game. It's very situational choice to pick soft tires. Yeah, it's like 9 degrees, but the thing is, I don't know if we'll have to see what like, because do they usually do that? Like, if it's 9 degrees here, does that mean it's going to be 9 degrees in the race tomorrow, or do they just put it there because they wanted to make it 9 degrees? You know what I mean? And the good thing about having used tires is they're still a bit warm. They don't have to worry about cold tires. Yeah, I'm not gonna lift for Tetra Rouge. We just do that flat. The Alpine is quite weak on this track. In a race, especially in a race, it's quite weak because they've got no... Look at the top speed. Look how low the top speed is. Look. It's so bad. Oh shit, I cooked it too much. Didn't brake early enough. I lifted a bit too late. The practices are usually based off the race conditions. Yeah, so that's what I mean. If the race starts like this, we could use the soft tire, but then after, like in the second stint, maybe it's going to be really dangerous. You know what I mean? Maybe it's going to be sliding everywhere. Whoa, almost died. Yeah, it's very sketchy, this setup. It's like, it's not a very drivable one. Like, as in, it's quick, but it's not very drivable. So if you had like a newer driver in here, they'd just be crashing all the time. One little mistake and the car wants to snap, kind of thing. Yes, you can. You can do that too. You can set the, in the Endurance Manager app, you can set the pace for each tire. So then when you're in the schedule, when you pick what tire each person is using, it will adjust the pace. It's very good, that app. It's a really good app. If Porsche's oversteering, use BMW should be safe. Ferrari's quite safe, but it's a bit slower now because they nerfed it so much. I think, Nick, in the second part of Porsche curves, the left-hander, I think a slight lift is better. I'll show you what I mean. In quali, I do it flat, but I think slight lift is a bit better because you turn the wheel less and it looks after the tires a bit better, and you won't lose much time. So you can't take too much of that curve, otherwise you're dead. Yeah, we're not gonna lift that Tetra Ruse. We just take it flat. Caddy is good. Caddy is good. Just be careful with the brakes on the Caddy because sometimes it's a bit snappy. But I think the easiest car, like the dead set easiest car, which can give you some good result, is get the no wing Peugeot, the old Peugeot. It's so good here, man. Legit, it's so good, the no wing Peugeot. Well, it's still saying I'm going for 12 laps. So let's see. Because the no wing Peugeot in the corners is a little bit understeery, so it's nice and safe. And then on the straight, you got so much top speed, it's insane, bro. You last, how are you, brother? I'm struggling with turns 9 and 10. 1 second, Cloud. Which one's 9 and 10 again? I'm trying to remember. Tell me off the top of... I always hate going by quarter number. I keep forgetting. The fuck? The next special event here, LMU, the 6 hour is a championship, so you have to pay for that event. But the next one is Interlagos, for 6 hour or 4 hour. So I did that, if you look at it now, my fuel is already still full, yeah? Like only 2 laps in. But look at the delta compared to the lap time before on half a tank. You know what I'm saying? When you get used to lifting coast, you're just as fast. See here, look, slight lift kick, see there? And then that way the car doesn't, you don't have to turn the wheel as much. Because you don't want to make these tires red here. See the lap time? It's still basically 3:27.7, yeah? But we have more tank fuel in the tank now than I did when I set it before. I only had half a tank before. Although I screwed up the final chicane, but I only had half a tank of fuel, but now it was basically full tank more or less, and it's the same lap time, but I didn't make any mistakes. I got a bit of understeer there. Hey, thank you, Pablo, bro. Appreciate you, man. Glad it's helping you out. Like I said to you guys last week, I will do more of this stuff, yeah? Because this year, I told you, I'm just focusing on getting faster and driving more competitive events now. So for me to drive those events, I have to practice. So when I practice, I might as well just do this. Because this is my practice right now. I'm practicing. Yeah, I think I can just lift at the 200 meter board. Go on the racing line, bro. That pisses me off. The racing line is to go out, so to the left. So go out to the left. Like, why is he doing that? You know, that's how you get the accidents happening. But let's see. It's still saying I'm gonna get what's 12 to 24, yeah? We're on lap 15 right now. Yeah, we're good. There's still so many GT3 driving weights. Yeah, like, it just annoys me when they do that. Like, just follow the racing line on the corner exit and I will be patient and I'll take, you know, I'll overtake you. Don't do what he did. He just hugged the inside like that. See, he took the racing line. That's good. He did the right thing there. That was good. He didn't stay on the left, on the right. He went over to the racing line. Johnny Stins. You're a bad man, Ulas. Yeah, but being nice, getting out of the way, that's what causes the accident. The car is so sketchy in that corner. See here, slight lift. Look, see? Yeah, much better. Don't have to turn the wheel as much. You want to, in the Porsche curves, it doesn't matter if you drive GT3 Hypercar, you've got to turn the wheel as little as possible in Porsche curves. Because that's where all your tires get destroyed. I can't make times below 3:31 at the moment. It's a lot of practice, Cloud. It is a lot of practice. What's turns 9 and 10, Nick? I can't remember which one's Cloud talking about. Nice rotation. Too much curb. Yeah, so just do Tetra Rouge flat out. Don't lift for Tetra Rouge, but all the other corners lift for them basically, I think. Oh, Indianapolis. Ah, yeah, okay. So you're struggling with that one. I'll explain it again. The main thing, like I said, is lift slightly before you turn in, and then you can't go on the brake too hard. And it looks scary because you're approaching the corner so quickly. But look at my brake pedal. Oh, where's my overlay? One sec. Oh, I can't do it now. All my overlays are gone. So look, when we get to Indianapolis, just look at my brake pedal, yeah? It's not much brake. It's just a little bit of brake. Glauber, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, brother. Yeah, I'm using Piconi Engineering Hype R. Oh, too late. All good. It gained me time. They basically gained me a bit of time. Yeah, the delta's going down, but it actually gained some time. It's not going down that much. That's what I mean. The time model doesn't make sense. Like, how do you gain time like that? You know what I mean? You shouldn't gain time from that. So watch the brake pedal, okay? Watch the brake pedal. See? Lightly, and then you go gradually a bit heavier, but you never go full brake. You never go full brake on that corner. Yeah, Picorni engineering wheel. Hyper. Nah, yeah, you don't. You just you slow the car down with the downshifting more than the brake pedal. Oh shit. This corner is the one I struggle with in this setup because it's so sketchy. If I turn the wheel too much, I die. Like the car, like full spin. Which one's scary? Indianapolis or Porsche curves? Usually Porsche curve is easy, especially in this tire model. But if you're driving a really sketchy like esports setup, then it's a scary corner Porsche curve entry. Just the entry. Because if you turn the wheel too much, the car just spins and you die instantly. Okay, tire's starting to get a bit worn now. Let's look at the tire wear. So Cloud, just because you're struggling with Indianapolis, both, yeah, just watch the brake pedal bar and the gear when I'm doing the corner every time. Just watch how I do it every lap now, okay? And then copy what I'm doing. Peppy Gut, I use all kinds of setups. I don't just use the Coach Dave ones. And I always make my own changes to them as well. But I always use the Coach Dave, the Delta app. It's so good, man. I always use it for all my practice. It's so easy to find out how to get faster with that app. Oh, too much downshifting. So look at the tires, they're still not bad. Should we see if we can do a triple stint? I think with Indy, what I see is you gradually, yeah, just gradually, and you use you downshift very quickly to make the car slow down. So watch now, watch now. I am lifting though, so it looks a bit different, but you'll see what I mean. See how much? I was a bit deep on the brakes, but I'll do it again next lap. It's light braking, but then bang, 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 bang with and that's what's gonna make the car slow down for you. Just watch me on the next one. I went in too hot for that lap. On the Alpine, it's quite forward. You need it. 59.5 on the Alpine. Because the Alpine brakes are shit. They're not good. The car just won't slow down. You lost, yeah. I can definitely feel the tires are like getting a bit worn now, but I wonder if I can make it a triple stint. Let's see. Yeah, 59.5 is really good on the Alpine. This 2.4 will be your first one. Trust me, use the no-wing Peugeot. It's really good. It's very easy to drive. Yeah, I screwed that exit up a bit. It wasn't too bad, but I lost a little bit of time there. Could have gained way more time on that exit. So I'm lifting at the 200 meter board for both these chicanes, 200 meter board. I was doing 300, but I think it's too much. So here, 200 meter board, lift. Almost died, because the tires are getting cooked. Oh, I still gained time though. I lost 2/10 on the entry, and then I gained it back. Best quality lap now is 23.5 in this car. But if I use like BMW or something, I can get much faster for sure. Nah, just use the LMU setup. Am I gonna meet this guy? Nah, I think I'm not gonna catch him. And we're up 4/10 as well. See how fast I downshift? That's how you do it. So this is one thing. See, I made a big mistake here. I'm sorry, my friend. You can go. I made a big mistake here. You got to be careful when you do lift and coast, right? See, I've made a big mistake here. When you do lift and coast, sometimes if you think usually you... Brother, I apologized, man. It was a small tap. You don't have to do that. Idiot. If you do lift and coast and you think you're going to be like alongside, but then because you lifted, then they outbrake you in the corner. And then this is what happened. That was so unnecessary, man. Is the car like, I don't know if the car's broken or not. Like literally the biggest overreaction to nothing from that guy. So stupid. It's not like I full punted him. You know what I mean? He just spun a little bit. He didn't get damage on his car. It was just stupid. Like, why did he have to do that now? It looks like the car's got some suspension damage. But now it's hard for me to see what's going to happen with the tires. Because I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to triple stint them now. Yeah, the suspension's damaged, I know. Oh, the car feels alright. It's a bit understeery on the left-hand turn, but it's not too bad. Let's see. Oh god, oh god. He's so dumb, that guy. You can't report people in the practice server, can you? I don't think you can. Matu, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you, my friend. I don't know if I can test the triple stint now. I'll see how it goes. I'll try and do triple stint with the medium tires. My best quality lap is 320. I'm just in the 320s. That's good. With what car? Oh no, I think it was a different driver. It was a GT3. It was the guy behind me. He's like 19 seconds behind now. See, the car stopped fine. Oh, the caddy. Oh, yeah, of course the caddy will do 320 there. It's OP as shit. The Alpine, even the esports, they only got 21.9 with the actual esports setup. So, yeah, the Alpine's not going to do that. The car still feels okay. I think we can still try a triple stint. It's annoying because I wanted to compare the lap time from the first and the second stint, because that idiot in the GT3 gave me all that suspension damage. The car is just slower now anyways. Because it just won't turn now. It's very understeery. Hey Hassan, how are you, bro? Good to see you. How to make the hypercars drivable in the rain? Make both the anti-roll bars low. Bring your brake bias backwards more. So make both the anti-roll bars low. Bring the brake bias backwards more. Keep bringing it backwards till it feels better. And then make the traction control higher as well. And that's how you make the hypercar feel better in the rain. Ooh, too much curb. Yeah, I'm losing a lot of time on the straight now because of the front bumper damage too. The first lap I saw it was 3:24.7. Oh yeah, but that's just because of the current hypercar tire model. That's why. Yeah, the lap times will just keep going down now because the car's too damaged. But let's see, let me fix the damage, but I won't change the tire. So repair all, but we won't change the tire. And we'll compare the third stint with the first stint. We can do that. The Porsche is very good around here. Yes, it's very good. But look, Porsche, BMW, Cadillac, Aston Martin, they're all good around here. So yeah, we're on target. In fact, I have extra left over. Because we've got 4 laps left, I've got 4.6. Yeah, but that was a Toyota LMP1. That wasn't a hypercar, that was an LMP1. Whoa, okay. So why would he do that? This is what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would he go to the left, like, to the right like that, and then go back over to the left? Just might as well stay to the left from the beginning. Oh, good night, Cat. Have a good day, brother. See you next time. Oh god, that guy crashed. So I'm going to do one more stint with the same tyres, and then we're going to compare the lap times on the third stint from the first stint. And if the lap time degradation is too much, then we won't do a third stint. But to be honest, the tyres still feel okay, even with the damage. It's not that bad. they feel a little bit lighter, but look, they're still on 50%. It's not that bad. See, we're still up on the delta. Look, it's green. So I'll show you guys what I'm lifting, yeah, for each corner. So the first chicane here is the 200 meter board. Yeah, they're too arcadey right now, man. Like, it's too much drifting. Yeah, the GT3 is always doing something stupid, Red. You know. So 200 meter board, ready? Lift. And then brake just before the 100 meter board, like just before it. Just watch out for the exit. If you have the wheel to turn too much there, you're gonna oversteer too much. Same thing for this corner now, 200 meter board. And then just braking on the 100 meter board. So ready, 200 meter board, lift. Brake. See, look at the delta. It's like you don't lose that much time. It's not too bad. And think about it. You're not losing that much time, but you're getting an extra lap. Do you understand how much of an advantage that is? It is huge. So there I lift like, I don't know exactly where to lift there yet. I don't like to lift there too much. Like I said, people, if you got someone behind you, people like to try and send it into that corner. They just always end up shoving you off track every time. So I don't know if it's a good idea to lift for that corner, to be honest. I'd rather do that one flat. Like, we're 3/10 up, and the car's damaged, and I'm lifting and coasting. Yeah, you lift before the braking point, yeah. Oh, don't die. It's so scary, man, and if you cook that corner, you can't turn the wheel too much, otherwise you're dead. See the tires here? They barely got, see the tires? They barely got, if you looked at the color, they just got a little bit yellow. That's what you want. You don't want to be pushing them too hard. To the Porsche curves. Because that's the one that's going to kill your tire life in Porsche curves. the lap was faster with damage, dude. Although it was off track, wasn't it? Look at that, 1/10 up from lift and coast as well. So we don't brake, we don't lift here, just do it normally. Although I did too much curb. Oh, it's still green, I lost time, but yeah. So we take Tetra Rouge flat. We've still got 3 laps left, yeah, so we're on target. Lifted the 200 meter board. That's it. Just watch the traction on the exit, especially if the tires get worn out. It's hard to get the power down on that corner. And the tire's still pretty good. 50% still. Yeah, that was pretty good. Because what it is as well, when you're driving on the limit, yeah, when you're not doing lift and coast, it's like the anxiety builds up as you approach the braking point. 1 second. So it's like the anxiety's building up as you reach the braking point. Then you get to the braking point and you always end up screwing it up. But then when you lift and coast, you're lifting before the braking point. It's like you're more calm, and then you end up doing similar laps to your push time anyway. Because I remember Dave Perel made a video about that. He started to actually do faster laps when he was doing lift and coast rather than pushing hard. I'll check the track temperature in a second. It's still 11 degrees. Still cold. See the tires, they just went yellow. Don't let them go red in the Porsche curve. Just go try and keep them yellow. Dude, with damage as well, guys. This, I mean, lift and coast is so good. It just makes you, if you learn to do it, you become a much better driver. It's the best thing you can do before any endurance race. Instead of trying to push, like practice pushing hard, just try to practice with lift and coast. And I bet you'll end up getting the same lap times as your, or nearly the same lap times as your push lap, right? But then that teaches you that, hang on a second, okay. So, if I can get these kind of lap times with lift and coast, that means I can brake later by pushing. And that's how you're gonna get faster. Because you realize, oh, wait a minute, the limit is not here, it's actually up here more. And then it teaches you passively to brake later. And that's how you get faster. It's not good there now, it's too damaged. Yeah, I put it on 10%, thank you, Cloud. Bro, Leb, thank you so much for the follow on YouTube, or the sub on YouTube. I'm sorry about the overlays, they disappeared, guys. I'll turn them on after, but... But it's still cold. That's what I mean. If the race is going to be like this, I don't know. I still feel like soft tires are going to be too hot. You know what you need to do, Nick? You need to try do what I'm doing now, but do it with the soft tires and tell me what it's like. I was watching my Delta to you going through Porsche curves. No clue how you gained 1.5 on me whilst on mediums versus on soft. Genuinely hate it. Is it because I don't think you should use softs, bro. I think mediums are better. The softs get too hard, too hot. That's the problem. You should try it with the mediums. Because like I said, the mediums will feel like sketchy at the start because it's cold, but once they warm up, they're so good, the medium tires. Yeah, they get way, that's what I was saying, they get way too hot. They hit like 100 degrees or something. I'll put the tire, let me put the tire temps on and then we'll see what they are during the Porsche curves, yeah? On the mediums. Especially now that they're warm, we'll have a look at what kind of temperature they reach. Yeah, look at that, perfect. Yep, 1.1 lap of fuel. But this is the main thing I want you guys to understand with lift and coast, right? Is don't treat lift and coast as, oh yeah, I'll just back off now to save fuel. Lift and coast is still push your ass off. It's still push hard and get fast lap times. But you're just doing it while lifting before the corner. Lift and coast isn't a break. It's not a, oh, I can just back off a bit now and drive a bit slow. No, you're going to still drive as fast as you can. But you're going to do it while lifting. Oh god, oh, yeah, okay. I don't know if that's the damage or the tyre wear though. We'll see. I'm gonna do one more stint with the triple tyre, the third stint on these tyres. I'm gonna see what happens. They can start with 0% battery. They took that away now. Because I tested it and it's gone. Ooh. So, of course, double stinting is easy. Like, the tyres felt fine. Even with a bit of sliding in Porsche curves, they were fine. Oh, forgot to downshift the extra gear. Looking pretty good, 0.6. But yeah, this is the test now. We're going to fix the damage. And then we're going to try and do one more stint on these mediums and see if the lap time is going to drop too much or not. Okay, so we're going in the pits now. Everything looks good with the battery. This is the worst. If you get stuck here, it's the worst. You can't do anything. Jesus Christ. Probably shouldn't have locked them up, but that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna repair all, but no change. We're gonna try and triple stint. Yeah, you can do it because I tested it. I remember I was teaching my friend how to drive the cars, and then I said, okay, so now make your battery 0, go in the pit, see what happens. It shouldn't start, but then it started. And then when I asked the devs about it, they said that in real life the car doesn't actually allow you to drop to 0 battery, so that's why they've allowed it to happen now. Like for whatever reason, in real life the car stops you from losing enough percent for the bump start. Oh, it wasn't too much. 28 seconds of damage. Not the end of the world, but the car will feel better now. Like, I'll be able to turn the wheel less. What do you think of the incoming Hypercar update? Oh, I can't say anything, my friend. We'll have to see what happens when it releases. Fingers crossed. All right, so now this is so if I can start to if I can still see some 27s, it means that it's okay for the triple stint. But if we're like 28, 29, 30, then it's not good. But let's find out. So this is the third stint on these same tires. Because we can do other things. I can change the anti-roll bar to make it more understeery if it's too hard to drive. I can put the traction control up. But let's see. I'm not going to change anything yet because there's no need. It feels like the tire still has grip in it. Like it doesn't feel super soft. I can feel the flat spot a little bit. It's not a big flat spot. It's just a very minor one from all the little minor locking that we had over the first two stints and the one when I drove into the pits. But it wasn't a big lock up. So lifting at the 200 board. See, it's a little bit more, it's still cold, the tires, like, because I just drove out the pit. But we'll see, so I can feel it kind of, like, oversteering a bit too much. So if that's the case, I can just make the anti-roll bar P2 on the front, and that will make it a little bit stiffer. But I know, I just got a feeling that maybe you can actually triple stint the mediums. But we'll find out. Again though, it depends on the lap times. If you see that the other cars are doing like, you know, 26 or whatever lifting, you can't triple stint because you're gonna lose too much time in that third stint. It depends on the grid too. Yeah, well, let's have a look. We'll see if the P1 works. See if it tries to snap here in the Porsche curves. Oh, I forgot to lift. Yeah, I may have braked a little too late. My bad. It does start to get a little bit dangerous. I don't know, maybe you can't do it. Yeah, I think the car's cooked. I think you can do the triple stint, but you got to be like from the beginning of the race, you got to treat the tires like so well. What happens if one tire hits zero? No grip, basically. Yeah, no grip. So we'll go back into the Delta app now. And let's have a look here. So if you look at Delta now, right? Did it record everything? I did. That was the fourth stint. So look, I did make a mistake there. I braked too late, so I had to turn the wheel. Like I said, if you brake too late, then it's instant death with this sketchy setup. But in the corners, it was like starting to feel like it's turning too much. Like you start to turn and then wants to keep turning and turning, but you don't want to turn that much, and that's because like the grip is falling off the tire. I think, look, I did slide a few times in the Porsche curves at the beginning, so maybe that's probably why. So let's have a look. Actually, if you look at it, right, look at the stints. So that was not. So this was the first stint. Okay, so can you guys see this? Oh wait, let me move my camera down. My apologies. So have a look at this. Okay, so here, let's make it nice and big for you. 1 second. So these, it's recorded all the stints from our session, right? So stint 2 is the first one. So you can even see here, fastest lap was a 3:27.7. Now, I definitely, there was like sometimes when the delta was like 9/10, like almost a second up. So we can do a 26 with lift and coast. I can already see it easily, right? But regardless, if you look at the fastest lap in the first stint, 3:27.7, and look at the fastest lap in the second stint with the worn out tires, 3:27.3. That was with damage too, right? This is what happens when you lift and coast and you look after your tires, right? Because they will perform more consistently over a long period of time. So if you look at the lap times, yes, this is the first stint. Again, I was getting used to it because I just jumped in the car, whatever. But look, so we've got 27, 28, 29. Again, there was some GT3 traffic and whatever. But this is the main thing I'm looking at here. Middle of the stint, 27, right? If you guys remember, when I did the start of the second stint, I got held up by a GT3 or something, right? But I was up on this lap with I had 11 laps. I had only done 1 lap. So I was already faster than half a tank on pretty much a full tank. Are Meads faster in quali? Or depends. Soft can be faster depending on the track temp. But you got to be really in the out lap. You can't push the tires too much. You got to look after them. Don't let them get too hot in the soft tires. They're so temperamental, the soft tires. So let's see. So yeah, it was like, you know, there was GT3s and all that business. Then we go here. 28, 27, 27 again, 29 again, some GT3s. And then that GT, and then I think this is where the GT3 hit us. And then yeah, 30, 28. But like I said, you can still... Yeah, it was even here. Yeah, this is the first lap. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So look at that. So fastest lap here, that was with half a tank of fuel left, right? So I still had like whatever, 50 liters or whatever of fuel. So the car is only half of its tank, so half the weight. 27.7. But then, with worn out tires and 10 laps worth. So that's like what, 80 liters? So it's heavier than before, 27.3. So I'm saying it's just that the tires, you're still able to get decent lap time in the second stint as long as you're doing like lift and coast and managing the tires. It's all about looking after the tires. If I can tell you now, if I was pushing in this first stint, like no lift and coast and just trying to push really hard and just treating the tires like crap, you know, like really turning the wheels so much, after like maybe the 4th or 5th lap, the lap times would start to go down. It'd be like 28, 29, 30, then maybe a 28 or something. It'll become really inconsistent because the tires are just staying too warm. So like the optimal temperature for medium tires, 87 degrees, right? You can go a little bit up above. You can go like 90 degrees, maybe just like 90, 91. But if you're going into like, you know, 93, 94, 95, up to 100, and you're keeping them there all the time from the way you're driving, so you're keeping the tires like in the high 80s to the 90s, the lap time is going to degrade. Like they will instantly start to perform so much worse. So it's not even about the tire life. But if you keep your temperatures under control, so if you saw what I was doing these little lifts in the Porsche curves just so I didn't have to turn the wheels so much, right? So that way the tires aren't going red. They're just going like dark yellow, almost not even orange. And what that does is it's keeping the temperatures in check. So that way, you see, we get to the second stint, the lap times, we can still get faster lap times in the first stint with worn tires. So that's what I'm saying. It's endurance racing, yeah? It's about looking after the tires and being smart about it. Just because you can yank the wheel and gain 2 to 3 extra tenths in a corner doesn't mean you should yank the wheel and gain 2 to 3 extra tenths in a corner. Because the price you pay later on for those 3 tenths, it's not worth it. Hey Flexi, how are you, brother? It's about consistency always. like I said, don't get the wrong idea. Lifting doesn't mean like, oh yeah, I get to take a holiday now. Oh yeah, I can lift, and then the lap times will be slower, but that's okay. I'm getting no. That's not the way it works. You still gotta break later to make up for the time you lose from lifting. You're still on the limit, but you're doing it while lifting. Yeah, so don't get the wrong idea and think, oh, lifting and coasting is a break. It's a holiday. It's not. It's harder. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I just did all the I was just doing some testing for the race tomorrow to see how all the fuel is gonna go. But yeah, I don't know. I was looking, so we got the thing here. Is it actually going to be 98 laps? I don't know. They reckon it's going to be 98 laps, but what happens with traffic and stuff like that? I don't know. You don't lose too much time from traffic from memory in LMU, in Le Mans compared to other tracks, but because if it's saying 2 or 3 laps here, I'm kind of tempted to try and make it last 13 laps on 2 stints to try and remove this pit stop. But I'm just wondering if we're going to lose too much time doing that. Because if you try and go 13 laps in Le Mans, oh dude, you lose so much time. It's crazy. People just overtake you from driving normally because you're lifting and they're still driving towards their braking marker, but you're already lifting, so you just instantly lose positions. Yeah, I think it's too much time loss. You're better off just doing the splash and dash for the 2 laps. Yeah, I agree. Like if you do, I mean, yeah, you have a good idea, Flexi. If you're doing lift and coast in Le Mans, how much time are you losing compared to pushing? Like, would you say 6/10 to maybe 8/10 or something? It's not super bad. Like if I do full push with the mediums, I can get 25 definitely, right, on race fuel. If I do lift, you don't lose time anymore. Jesus Christ. Okay, this guy's just on next level. He's not even losing it. But that there though, Flexi, that's the tire model doing that. You should never be able to do the exact same time, because you're obviously driving the car at the limit, because we know how quick you are. If you're lifting, you shouldn't be able to do the exact same time as on the limit. You should be losing maybe 2 to 3 tenths if I do about it. Yeah, it should be more than that though, right? Yeah, that's the tire model, because we know if you lift, you brake later. And because of the tire model, you can brake even later and just yank the wheel to make it turn, even though you broke so late. So that's why, yeah. But I would say realistically, between 6 to 8 tenths at Le Mans, you will lose from lifting and coasting. Yeah. If you try to do 13 laps, then yeah, that's like a second and a half. It's not worth it. All right. Well, yeah, we got everything we need. I feel pretty good. Hopefully the track guide helped you guys out. I think I explained it pretty in depth. Couldn't do it more than that. So tomorrow I'm going to live stream the race, see how we go. This is how it's going to look for you guys. So I'm going to start driving, and then I'm going to do just 2 stints. We'll see if I feel confident to do the 3 stints. I might do the 3rd. Do you reckon 3 stints is all right, Flexi? I was doing a 3rd stint then on the same tires, but then I crashed in the Porsche curves because I braked too late, so I couldn't test anymore. But I don't know. I wonder if 3 stints is possible on the same tires. I feel like it might be possible if you look after the car from the beginning of the race. Like if you look after the tires, especially in the Porsche curves. Because it'd be good if I can get 3 stints from the same tires. Because then if you think about it. Because let's see here, it'd be good if you could put tire limit here. I might tell the guy to add this feature. Put the music on. Yeah. Send me on Discord. I just so I can get an idea. Yeah, so I can get an idea. Because I'm thinking, I feel like it's possible to get 3 stints if you just look after the tires from the beginning. But so if we see, so if we do the quali, use the same tires from the no, we use the quali tires in the last stint, I think. Yeah. So you do the quali, then we put some new tires on for the start of the race. So that's 8 tires. Okay, so 8 tires. If we do 3 stints, we pit here. We do another 4 new tires. No, I won't leak, don't worry. So we used 8 tires from the race start because we're going to use those 4 quali tires later on in the race. So fresh tires at the start of the race, so we're at 8. Then we triple stint, and then we pit here for this one. Use 4 new tires, that's 12. And then double stint because it'll be hotter. I might not be able to double stint anymore. So 1 stint, 2 stints. We pit on this one. That's 16. Yeah, 16. And then we put the old tires on, but maybe with 2 new, we have 2 tires left, maybe on one side, and then that will last, because it's only a splash and that, it's only 2 extra laps. It's nothing. I feel like that might be all right. Yeah, let me just work it out in my head again. So wait. So we do the quali, right? That's 4 tires. It's 18 tires maximum, right? So 4 tires. Then we start the race with fresh tires. So here. So that's 8 tires. So plus 4. It's 4. That's 8 tires. Triple stint. So 1, 2, 3. This one here. So we change them here. So plus another 4. That's 12 tires. Then we double stint. So 1 and 2. And we're pitting here. So 4 fresh tires. That's 16. We don't need to change tires. No, we don't even need to. That's it. If I can triple stint, we don't even need to. Yeah. If I can I'll have to check it. I'll have to check what the lap time is like with the triple stint on the 3rd stint. I'm just thinking because at the first 3 stints it's cold. So you can, because the temperatures are low, you can make it work. It might actually be possible. So let's say I don't triple stint, yeah? So we go quali, so that's 4 tires. Then start with 4 fresh ones. That's 8. So double stint, so 1, 2. And we use them here. So that's 4 new tires. Double stint again. So we're on 12 now. So here. 1 and 2. And then we're changing here. So plus 4. 16. And then we go 16. 2 more stints. 1, 2. And then we've got 2 tires left. So we could change the left side. Is it left side? Is it the left side tires? Yeah. So we've got 2 left. And then we can do... Yeah, 12 laps easy. 12 laps easy, brother. I just did it then when I was doing it on the thing. 12 laps easy. You should do 12 laps. You shouldn't do 11. You should always do 12. Because you look after the tires, you can double stint them easily that way. You just gain more time, trust me. So if we change the left side tires... Oh, I don't know. Oh, bro, I feel like if I can force it and triple stint the first set of fresh tires when it's cold, it's going to be a big win, bro. Yeah, it's a big win. Because, so 8, triple stint. So changing them here. No, wait, 1, 2, and then 3. Then changing them here on this one. So plus 4 equals 12. And then double stint from that point because it's going to be hotter. It's going to be like, it's not going to be able to, it's not going to be a cold track anymore. So 1 and 2. And then, so we pitting, so pit on this one. Plus 4. 16. Fresh tires, double stint, and 2 extra laps. It's good, isn't it? I'm just worried if I'm going to actually be able to drive the car for a whole triple stint. That's the worry, isn't it? Or what you could do, I don't know if it's a good idea. You could move this short stint up here. Right? So you swap it. So you do... Oh, I don't think it would be a good idea though. Nah, it doesn't sound right. Because you could do the 2 lap there. Nah, it's not worth it because you drive in. to get it. Nah, it's not worth it. That sounds dumb. Actually, no, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, we could. The safe way is double stint, double. So 2. So, and then put the quali tires on in the finals. The second last stint. Quali tires with brand new left side, and then go to the end. That might be the way to do it. Yeah. We'll see how we go. Because if I can keep the lap time up in the third stint, that's 12 seconds. If I can get the same lap times from the second and first stint in the third stint, it's very similar. That's 12 seconds I save from doing a triple stint. I gain on everybody, which can be a big deal. All right, we'll see how we go. I'll have a look at it tomorrow. I'll try and do a triple stint again tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Hopefully they helped you today. If you're doing the 2.4 hour race or the 6 hour race tomorrow or Sunday, whenever, good luck. I hope you do well. I will see you for our live stream of the 6 hour tomorrow. Let me just see if I can raid someone quickly. Really quick. Let's raid somebody. I'm sure there's people doing the Le Mans race right now. What do we got here? Chickens Racing TV. Yeah, he's doing the 2.4 hour. Let's raid this guy. Okay, I'll start the raid now. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that helped you out. Good luck in your races on the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow for our race. Bye-bye.